renangaming.live. C'est notre dernier live sur Bungie. Dans Destiny, c'est le dernier live sur Twitch. Profitez-en de regarder. Moi, je parle pas dans la vidéo, hein. Je parlerai à la fin de cette vidéo parce qu'il va y avoir Galaxy Romain qui va arriver avec nous. Voilà. Donc je vous laisse pour cette vidéo dans quelques minutes qui commence à 20h. Donc voilà. Donc merci bien. Et je vous dis à tout à l'heure. Pour cette vidéo dans quelques minutes qui commence à 20h. Donc voilà. Donc, voilà. Donc je vous laisse pour cette vidéo. Je vous dis à tout à l'heure jusqu'à 1h.
these changes and you're using a special ammo or a special weapon, you find that you have less of that ammunition now pretty consistently, and you're thinking, you continually have that thought, oh, I don't have special right now. I need to go seek it out. When is the next box going to drop?
Sure, sure. Okay, so talk to me about heavy. How's heavy different?
So heavy is another thing that we, across the board, we wanted to, again, make it feel the same no matter where you go in the Crucible. It's going to behave similarly. So heavy only comes in once a match now.
Really?
It comes in at the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
And then it never comes back.
So you get one chance.
With that, one chance of being healthy is that, and so what we see with that, which has been really healthy, is that if you do have, very powerful John will talk about in a second what he's done on his side. Again, we work with the Sandbox team to make changes, not just on our side to control the ammo economy, but those guys as well to control how ammo behaves in the weapons themselves.
Yep.
We wanted to sort of tamp down that stuff and not have heavy continually come back. Now again, if you're a fan of Mayhem, we're not touching Mayhem, how Mayhem comes in pretty continuously. We're leaving that alone because Mayhem is Mayhem.
It's just designed to be explosive.
Yeah,
it's designed to be exactly what you call it.
Pure chaos.
Pure mayhem.
That's what we want. But everywhere else in the Crucible, we wanted heavy to only show up the one time. Again, that doesn't affect elimination or trials. So that still comes, when it comes.
And that is?
Once the first team to reach 3 wins, the heavy will show up.
That's
and then it never comes back again.
Never comes back again.
Correct.
Never going to get it. Okay. And then as this round comes to completion, we'll see them enter the post-game. We'll see them look at their post-game Carnage report and see what rewards they get. Talk to us about what a Crucible warrior can expect from the Crucible all up in terms of how rewarding an experience it is.
Yeah, so, we've heard the comments. We know that the Legendary stream was a little light. Mm-hmm. We've increased Legendaries across the board in all of the Crucible.
Okay.
And that's beyond what we're doing everywhere else. So the Crucible, like you said at the top of the show, is going to be a more rewarding place. Now, we're not going to change the way this screen behaves necessarily, and these are new characters, so we'll see. Awesome.
This is a test environment.
It's a test environment. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But people should know that they're going to be seeing more Legendaries.
Okay.
There's a bunch of things they can do to get themselves up to 335.
Okay.
So playing the Shaxx, the Shaxx weekly bounties,
yeah.
Completing that each week will get you to something that drops up to 335.
Okay. Up to 335.
Up to 335.
And a point of clarification, last week we talked about the fact that the weekly featured Crucible activity is one of the ways in which you can get one of the new Sterling treasure boxes. So in the lower left-hand corner of your director, on the top level of your director, there's always a weekly featured activity,
yes.
An invitation to say, come play Control or Rift or what have you. So if you play one match of that activity, you get a Sterling treasure box. But
that's
also,
cool. Okay.
Yeah, nice, right? Yeah, here, have some,
have some treasure.
Have some treasure, have some loot. Then if you go and interact with Shaxx, he's got his own quest line.
Yep.
It refreshes on a weekly basis. That's more of an investment.
Yeah, it is. It takes a little longer, and that's true.
It's
but
not
the
just
people
one
who
match.
really enjoy doing the Shaxx weekly,
yeah.
We wanted there to be a way outside of Trials, outside of Iron Banner, that was a weekly place for you to get drops up to 335.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shaxx weekly is the way to do that.
Okay. Talk to me about some of the other endgame activities that can also get a player to 335.
So Trials of Osiris
Mm-hmm.
will get you up there. The wonderful treasure chest that's on Mercury, if you get to Mercury. We've also opened up what you can get from the Mercury chest now. I believe it drops armor and weapons, and those will drop up to 335. So,
okay.
And then the bounties themselves will drop up to 330.
Okay.
So if you do the bounties, they will drop up to 330. Treasure chest will drop up to 335.
Yes.
And the other thing we've done with Trials is we allowed you to repeat on a daily basis the, I think it's called His Eye Upon You bounty. We should fact check that in the patch notes, but
yeah.
One of the bounties, you'll be able to do it every day. So you can keep going back each day. If you love playing Trials, and that, again, the Trials bounty stuff can drop up to 330. So that's another good way to keep playing.
Iron Banner.
Iron Banner, we've made some good changes there as well. We've looked at how the economy works. I believe Jeremiah, who is our resident Iron Banner expert, he removed the legendary engrams out of the stream. So now if you were supposed to get a legendary engram, you'll now get an Iron Banner drop instead. We wanted to make it all about the Iron Banner gear that's dropping, so that's what you're going to be getting.
Okay.
At the rank 3 and the rank 5 packages, you're still guaranteed to get an artifact and a ghost, and now those are 320. So they will drop at 320. So if you haven't gotten up to 320 yet, you're going to get a guaranteed 320 artifact and ghost just from getting to rank 5 in the next Iron Banner.
Okay. And then if I get my rank 5 package, that stuff will drop up to?
Up to 335. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
And
cool.
the last thing, I think people have talked about this a lot. I've
Yeah.
seen on the forums, there was a bounty that
Oh, yeah.
required 2,500 points and a win.
Yeah.
And now that is 1,500 points and a match completion.
Okay.
So it'll be much easier to get, and we've heard you. We're sorry, but we're making changes to
Well,
make
there
the
you go.
experience better. for
Never be
everyone.
sorry about making the game better.
Wow.
So
sure.
that all sounds like good stuff to me. I certainly love the Crucible. I'm not amazing in there, but I've got a full set of Iron Banner gear. So
You're looking good.
yeah, I'm feeling good, Lars. I'm feeling good. Here, let's have another
Toast?
sip of room temperature
Room
water.
temperature water.
And is there anything else you would tell our audience about changes to the overall Crucible?
You know, there's probably too many to go into on this stream. The
Of course.
patch notes will be coming in the next day or so, right?
What we'll do is we will, we'll certainly do a recap of this show, and we'll have a few additional details on the Bungie blog tomorrow, and then we will on April 12th.
Gotcha. Okay.
When
Yep.
the April update deploys, we will certainly have the customary patch notes, and people who love to pour through the changes that we've made and pick through it with a fine comb can go through and they can see every last little bullet
Yeah,
point.
and there's a lot of I could spend 2 hours talking about the changes we made, but it's better to.
It just doesn't sound like a very entertaining stream. We don't have that much room temperature water, man.
No, we don't.
Okay.
But there's a ton of good details in the patch notes, things that I glossed over. You'll get much more detailed, notes on those.
Well, as the show says, this is an April update preview, so that's a good glimpse at some of the different things
Yeah.
that you've done.
Yeah.
I'll thank you on behalf of the people that tweet at us and talk to us on those forums for caring about their opinions and
Yeah.
and factoring that into your process. So hopefully this improves your Crucible lifestyle. And as always, we'll be listening to the way you react and respond to these things. I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thanks, Deej.
Thank you for
My
all the hard
pleasure.
work that you put into this, as always.
Yeah.
And we're not done. Coming up just after this station break is we're going to have designer John Wisniewski come out and talk about the arsenal in Destiny and how a lot of the different weapons that you love to use or hate to get killed by are about to go back to the workbench and be adjusted in the interest of balance. So enjoy some gameplay, and we're going to welcome yet another subject matter expert to the couch right now. We'll be back in just a few seconds. Watch them fight.
You're in the lead.
All right. And we'll take a break from the Crucible right now because it's my pleasure to introduce you and to welcome to the show John Wisniewski.
How's it going, Deej?
Good to see you, man.
Good to be here.
So for those members of our audience who aren't used to reading your weapon update previews or the people who don't pour through the patch notes, give us a sense of what you do at Bungie.
So I'm a designer on the gameplay design team, and I basically, my area is weapons. So I think of new weapons, I think about old weapons, I think about how weapons are behaving in all activities, and do a lot of planning and work to keep those fresh and new.
Yeah. Spend a lot of time in our test labs, getting punished
Absolutely.
by the PvP testers that we have participating in this Warlock exhibition.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, we certainly we play a lot here at Bungie to keep each other honest and to settle a lot of the debates that y'all have on the forums. So when they have conversations about weapons being overpowered, we go into our own labs, we participate in our own gameplay to see how we feel about all that stuff.
Yes, we do.
And today, you're going to tell us how we feel about all that stuff. I've got my magical clicker here.
All right.
So we're just going to run through a lot of the different categories of weapons, and John is going to give you a sense of what has changed and why we've made some of those changes. I'm going to pledge that tomorrow we'll publish a full write-up from you, where you tackle every single archetype of weapon, as well as some of the different weapons from the exotic and legendary catalog, and we'll give you all of the gritty details, followed up by the full patch notes later. But today, here's an opportunity for you to get to know somebody who does this sort of work, understand how we think and how we approach this stuff, and just get a basic sense of what's coming. So we'll start with my personal favorite. We got the auto rifles.
Auto rifles.
What have we done to auto rifles?
So auto rifles, so yeah, like you said, we'll keep this all short and sweet in the interest of moving on to some combat and seeing these things in action.
Okay.
And then, yeah, we'll have the full details published tomorrow. So yeah, auto rifles, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the high rate of fire style of auto rifle, which is like your Doctrine of Passing, your Armadius D, your Necrochasm.
Your bullet hose, if you will.
Bullet hose. The base damage is coming down just a tiny bit.
Okay.
And then to offset that, the low rate of fire, so your Suros Regime, your new Queen's auto rifle, her memory, the base damage is coming up a tiny bit.
Okay.
And these changes are not intended to move people off of these weapons. They're just intended to give you more options within the archetype.
More of a logical counter for each other. Okay, cool. And what are we doing to the pulse rifles?
Pulse rifles. So we're only touching the low rate of fire archetype.
Okay.
So in game right now, that would be like the spare change, and the base damage is coming up a tiny bit.
Okay. So if slow and steady wins the race, you're going to make those bullets just a little bit more powerful.
Correct.
Okay. And then we have the hand cannons.
Hand cannons. So all we're doing with hand cannons right now is we're increasing your ammo inventory.
Okay.
So we've noticed that in some PvP games where you're on a streak or you're using last word and just blowing through your ammo, you tend to run dry. And then in PvE encounters as well, more attrition style encounters like strikes and raids, people tend to be running dry as well. So anyone running a hand cannon now is going to have a significant amount more ammo in their backpack.
Okay.
Be less time spent running around the field looking for ammo.
Nice. So a 6-gun is still a 6-gun, but you can reload it more often with what you have on your person.
Correct.
Okay. Deeper pockets.
Yep.
Fusion rifles.
Fusion rifles. So this time, all we did with fusion rifles was we just gave them a blanket stability increase. So that's better stability across the board for fusion rifles. And what that means is that as the projectiles leave the barrel in the burst, you're going to get less severe kick, which means a tighter grouping of projectiles, which means more accuracy.
Cool. Sniper rifles.
Sniper rifles.
Constant topic of conversation in the community. So how are we addressing a lot of the things that they've said about the long barrel?
A lot of people using sniper rifles these days.
Yeah, using them as almost like medium-range battle rifles.
Yeah, I think we saw some of that in the gameplay earlier. So yeah, that seems to be a play style that's settling in PvP right now, which is that people are using their snipers as sort of like close to medium-range combat tools. The goals for a sniper rifle has always been, precision, long-range, paced combat that rewards thumb skill with high damage to precision targets.
Yeah.
So we're leaning into that, and so to change the changes that we're doing for sniper rifles is, so there's zoom distance on scopes, and there's 3 scopes that are the shortest zoom distance, and we pushed that distance out a tiny bit. So it's not very much, but it is enough to sort of shake up your usual sight lines a little bit that you're used to in PvP.
So you can see further with those scopes now, just to sort of make
go a little bit further.
Those close range engagements a little bit more clumsy.
Right. It's a give and take. So your close range, your ability to close range snapshot is a little bit harder, but with the range increase, you get a little bit more accuracy as well. And so that's just the long view SLR-10, the ambush, and the short gaze that are getting pushed out a tiny bit. We've also added 2 frames of zoom time to the as you go from hip into zoom. So that's slightly slower. It's like just 2 frames, but it does make a difference when you're doing the combat sniping. And I know everyone out there is thinking, well, that's okay, I've got snapshot. Well, sorry to tell you that snapshot now grants you a 20% increase to your zoom time instead of 30%. It was 30%.
This is the role of the sniper on the battlefield, though. I mean, they call that gun patience and time for a reason.
Right.
You know, in a real-world combat meta, the sniper is not usually dancing around and jumping with a big, heavy gun. They're clumsy to use, they're heavy to carry, and it's all about the precision kill, choosing that right moment and putting your shots where they count.
Right. Yeah. And then the last little change we made there is we reduced stability across the board a little bit on snipers, and so. Again, if you're lining up your shots and you're doing your combat breathing and taking your time, that you should feel unaffected. But if you're doing the rapid, trying to like two-tap a body in PvP and get those quick kills, you're gonna be it's gonna be a little bit harder to. Realign on your target just a tiny
big
bit.
gun, it's got a kick.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk about some of the weapons in the exotic catalog now. This is extremely popular, the Mida multi-tool. In fact, let's take a look at how popular it's been over time. So when we launched the Taken King, this gun was not brought forward originally.
Right. Its investment attack value was not at the levels of the other weapons.
So it was not a year 2 weapon as soon as year 2 began.
So where on that graph do you think that happened?
Probably where you hit that wall. So you can see where December happens.
Right.
We reprised this exotic weapon for year 2 in December. That's when it vaulted up like a rocket out of obscurity back into relevance, and you can see those weekly upticks where it's being used in activities like Iron Banner.
Yep.
So Mida multi-tool is, compared to every other primary weapon in the combat sandbox in PvP, is by far the most popular gun.
Absolutely.
So what are we doing to mitigate this? What are we doing to make it less popular or to make other weapons in the primary arsenal a more viable option?
So the only thing we're doing to Mida is we're removing high caliber rounds as as an intrinsic property of the weapon.
Okay.
So other than that, the weapon still plays and feels exactly the same for the user to shoot. It just sucks a little bit less to be shot at with it.
It's not going to disrupt your targets as much as it used to.
So there's a little bit more opportunity to shoot back if you feel that's necessary. Or disengage.
Okay.
And yes, and speaking of the popularity graph, the reason we didn't hit Mida too hard is because it is popular, and on the gameplay team, we actually consider it to be a relatively balanced gun.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to hit it too hard.
I don't use it. It's hard. It's hard.
It's not a warlock, right, Deej?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. I wear Void Fangs. My
Yeah.
entire Crucible strategy is get killed, respawn, throw a grenade.
Yeah.
Get killed, respawn, throw a grenade.
Throw a grenade,
You saw that
right.
one coming, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So up next, we'll talk about my own personal favorite, the Suros regime.
Yeah.
Check it out.
The Suros.
Like Darth Vader's Ferrari.
Yeah, so by proxy, because the Suros is in the family of low rate of fire auto rifles, it's got a buff, so it's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so to address that, so a lot of people tend to use the spinning up option. So there's two options,
Sure.
spinning up and focus fire.
Yep.
A lot of people use the spinning up option. Really good at hitting headshots from the hip with this gun, and with that damage boost, that turns into a 2-shot kill in PvP at a full auto hand cannon rate of fire. And the time to kill is just a little too fast. So we pull the damage off. It's still a 3-shot kill. You still get the aim assist. You still get the stability.
Yeah. Still sounds pretty mean. We will take a look at how it performs in our all Warlock exhibition here. We'll throw them into some Rumble combat every Warlock. lock for themselves, and we will prove, please do not panic, please do not flee, we'll prove that the last word is still a viable option.
What's next?
What is next?
that?
Look at that.
Oh.
Everyone's favorite weapon to get killed by.
It's
The
pointing
thorn.
right at my head.
Yeah, look at that. It's
Yeah.
pointing right at your head. It's
Yeah,
like,
look at
okay, now you're now being held at thorn point. Check
Yeah.
that out. So talk to us about the thorn. What have you done?
So first and foremost, I should say that there's been no investment attack value increase on Thorn. So it should be still considered a year one weapon.
Still a year one weapon.
Still year one weapon.
Okay.
However, no one's really talking about it. No one's really using it.
Yeah.
So we did want to get some more eyes on the gun, some more hands on the gun. So we're talking about like damage increase, increasing the magazine,
Yeah, okay.
slightly speed up the rate of fire. The poison lasts a little longer,
great.
does more damage.
Cool.
I'm totally
Yeah,
joking
he's
right
completely
now.
kidding. He's completely kidding. What did you really do to Thorn?
So we minimize the dot damage, so the dot's the damage over time. So each pulse is going to do the absolute minimum damage we can do in PvP.
Okay.
We reduce the duration of the pulse, so instead of doing 6 pulses, it now does 4. And we've actually done another pass on the intensity of the poison screen effect. So when you're shot by it, it's a little bit less intense on
You're
your
not
screen.
completely blind. It's not like someone hit you with a green
Yep.
flashbang.
Yep, and again, like same methodology applied to the MIDA changes, where we're trying to preserve the feeling of using the weapon,
Yeah.
because that feels good to some people out there, even though most people on the internet hate those people. We want the weapon to still feel awesome to use, and then suck a little bit less to have it used on you.
Gotcha. Okay. Icebreaker.
Icebreaker. So once again, I should say that the investment attack value of Icebreaker is not coming forward. So this
Icebreaker is still a year one weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to sort of pivot off of what Lars was saying earlier about the intended
very closely together, all of these changes, like the things that go into the April update, it's no mistake that you're on the same show.
Correct.
Because you guys pretty much work hand in hand to make sure that these changes all sort of complement each other.
Yeah.
If Lars changes something, it's going to have a direct impact on the things that you're making.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more about some of the ammo changes that we made on our side too. So, it works the same way across the board. So the same thing with sidearms. Like if you swap away from a sidearm,
Yeah.
then you're going to lose your special ammo. You have to re-find the ammo on the map in order to power up whatever weapon that you switch from. And then the total inventory amount for heavy machine guns, sniper rifles, and shotguns got reduced across the board as well.
Okay.
So you won't be able to carry as much in your backpack. So in some PvP games, some players are really good at controlling the spawn rate of ammo crates, and they're able to run around and grab ammo and be pretty stockpiled. So we've limited the amount that they can stockpile, and then to offset that change in PvE, we've increased the drop rate of special ammo bricks.
Okay.
So in PvE, you'll have less in your backpack, but you'll see more bricks drop.
You know, a constant question from the community is why not just let PvP be its own thing and let PvE sort of exist independently? Why do you try to balance weapons so that they behave exactly similarly in both areas of activities?
Yeah, speaking to that, so there's really just sort of like a high-level global philosophy we have about Destiny design, and to me personally, I think it's one of the greatest things about our game, which is that your Guardian is your Guardian everywhere you go. So every activity you go into, you're bringing the same the same tool set, and it behaves the same in those areas. And so,
And I know what to expect.
yeah.
When I achieve body memory with that weapon,
Right.
I'm never going to be surprised. Like, that never happens in the Crucible. You know, it's like I was up against a raid boss, the chips were down.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And it's not always 1-to-1, but we try to keep it as consistent as possible. And we want, like, for example, like if you throw your grenade and you know about the detonation radius of the grenade, like you want that to be consistent regardless of what target you're throwing it at.
Okay.
And yeah, you just really want to build a lot of muscle memory and fluidity with your loadout, regardless of where you are.
Zen, if you will.
Zen.
Okay, cool. And then let's see. Let's round this out and let's get into the Crucible to visit with our warlocks and see how they're doing. Dreg's Promise.
Dreg's Promise. So quick change to this one. Projectiles now track based on ADS lock.
Okay.
So as you aim down the sights and then shoot, the Dreg's Promise projectiles are going to just do a little bit better job at tracking.
Okay. And we have Telesto.
Telesto! So Telesto, we fixed an issue where the projectiles weren't recognizing player factions, so friendly factions.
Yeah.
So if you shot your Telesto at your ally or your ally's Ward of Dawn, the projectiles would just vanish. And
Okay.
so now the projectiles know what to do, and what they do is they correctly attach to those targets, so they can attach to your friend, they can attach to your friend's Ward of Dawn, and they will explode, but they will not do damage to your friends. So if you have, if you like I do,
Yeah,
if you're
sure,
playing,
sure.
if you're playing with a guy like Grant,
Yeah.
who likes to charge into the fray of battle,
Yeah.
with somewhat wild abandon, and you're the kind of guy like me who likes to hang back a little bit,
Yeah.
pull out your Telesto, spray the back of his Guardian down.
Dress me up, dress
with
me
your
up.
projectiles.
Turn him into a trip mine, essentially.
Exactly, and
a
he'll-
running, charging.
He'll go running in, and he will literally explode himself all over the enemies.
Can't
with
wait
that.
to see that. And let's see. We're going to we'll need to take a look at this. Let's take a look full screen at the 1,000-yard stare.
Yep.
Easily acquired through participation in the story campaign, courtesy of the Vanguards. Let's take a look at this. This is the most equipped special weapon in the history of our living social world.
Yeah.
It's definitely a popular Destiny sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So what are we doing about this? It's everywhere.
So yeah, I mean that graph kind of speaks for itself as the thing that most people are using right now, and I think there's a lot of reasons that people have gravitated towards this weapon, and I think one of those reasons is that a lot of people have farmed this weapon. They've been trying to get a really good perk roll, and
Yeah.
they've found that, and
Yeah.
they like it,
Yeah.
and it's what they want to run. And we don't want to take that away from them. We absolutely want to honor that. But at the same time, it's my job to make people feel like they have options, right?
Yes.
We don't want loadouts to stagnate and sit on any one weapon for too long.
Okay.
So all we're going to do is we're just going to remove a couple bullets out of the inventory. So again, piggybacking on top of the sniper rifle change, your 1,000-yard stare is going to have a little bit less ammo inventory. But other than that, that perfect perk roll that you've gone out there to find and use is going to be consistent.
It does have a stronger scope too, though. So I'm looking more across the room instead of just across the way at the dude that just ran around the corner.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
a longer range weapon.
It
now.
is. It does subscribe to all the sniper rifle
It's
changes.
not a battle rifle.
Yep.
But I'm sure you'll find a way to use it because you're awesome. Here we go. King's Fall weapons,
Yep.
including this heavy.
Yes, the Quillam's Terminus, Harold Quillam's Terminus and Quillam's Terminus.
Yes.
Two guns that are basically the same.
Okay.
So
Tongue twister with a trigger.
So we basically reduce the inventory on
Okay.
this gun.
Okay.
So you're going to get less bullets. I'm sure there's plenty of PvP players out there who get killed 4 or 5 times by the same guy with the same ammo
Yeah.
brick.
That thing again?
He's got
Yeah,
that
I've
thing
seen
up,
a
and
lot
he's
of
just
feedback
on an
about this.
insane streak.
Yep.
So now your options are wait it out because he doesn't have as much ammo anymore, or get good and kill him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Get good and kill him.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
And then,
die by.
as far as the rest of the King's Fall weapons, we did a global increase on reload speed, so they're all going to reload a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And Anguish of Dristan, the assault rifle, got a small stability boost as well.
Okay.
But yeah, let's go to some gameplay now.
Yes, we take you live to our Crucible exhibition. They're playing Rumble, so it is every warlock for itself. And we're taking a look at Suros regime, so what would you point out here?
So I'm not sure which style they're running on this one right now. If you want to shoot for a little bit so we can see that. Oh yeah, so that's the focus fire style. And as you can see,
Bam.
range now to your advantage.
Yep.
So you probably want to hang back and take a little bit more slower paced combat. do a little bit more range with this guy.
Heavy ammo's up. How often does heavy ammo spawn now in Rumble? It spawns, what, after 5 minutes?
After 5 minutes.
Once during the game?
Yeah, I believe is what Lars says.
Okay.
So
Or whatever Lars says.
Yeah, whatever Lars said. So here we go.
Here's
now
the
we've got Thorn. So as you can see, they're doing less damage, and that the pulse disengages a lot sooner than it used to.
Yeah. Those were some missed shots. That Warlock was fighting a good fight and jumping all over the place. So let's take a look at a cleaner engagement with the Thorn.
Yeah. So he got 2 stacks on there, so it still stacks. But yeah, as you can see, the poison wears off a lot sooner than it used to. So it does a really cool thing where it still it feels the same to use that gun. You're still getting the same benefit.
Yep. Good kill.
But those poison ticks rarely actually kill the guy now. The victim doesn't feel like they're on timeout for so long. They don't feel like they have to sit around.
Yeah, we're still in a good run here.
It eliminates the I believe it was like a 2 or 3 body shot kill that you could get with those things. So that doesn't happen anymore. But you still get the great benefit of putting the poison damage over time on the guy.
Okay.
And then seeing the damage numbers tick through walls. But also because it disengages now a little bit faster, is that you sort of get a hint of where they might be going to disengage.
Okay.
But it doesn't give you exact positioning anymore. As long as that person keeps disengaging, they have a much stronger chance of getting away and being able to fight back.
So there's the Thorn. There you have it. We saw some interesting things there. I saw the Thorn shut down a Storm Trance. There was some good kill streaks there.
Yeah. And so this player should also have Thiessen in their special slot. So this is we can look at the fusion rifle changes here.
Okay. Fusion.
So yeah, just across the board, your shot grouping is going to be much more tighter on these guns now. They'll be a lot more accurate, a little bit easier to predict where your burst is going to land.
Okay, cool. What else can we take a look at here? What else? Oh, here we go. Here's the last
Here
word.
we go, last word.
Please still be awesome. Please still be awesome.
Yeah, easy to hit the guy when he stands still.
Yeah, indeed. Not so easy when he's jumping around and punching you, finishing you off with a fusion rifle. All right, let's see a last word kill. Just for all those people out there with the soul of a cowboy. Let's restore
No
their
pressure
hope and their
or
faith.
anything.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Back up on the horse, cowboy. Back up on that horse, cowboy. Here you go. Oh, and what a time to reload.
Yeah.
There we go. And whoever that was a great sport. But yeah, it's still a nasty weapon. Still doing some work. There you go.
So
It still moves the needle.
Experiences are purely anecdotal. You know, these encounters could play in all kinds of different ways. But yeah, we've done a lot of play testing, and this is still extremely combat viable tool.
Okay, cool.
And so, and then in his special slot, we've got the 1,000-yard stare.
There it
and
is.
He is running the short gaze scope. So this is one of the scopes that has had their zoom pushed out a little bit, and there's an extra two frames of zoom time as he's zooming in.
I am not a sniper at all, but it still feels really clumsy to me in that small hallway. Here, it's a better suited weapon.
Yeah, and then earlier, when he wasn't on the spot, we actually saw some close range combat sniping on Exodus Blue with this thing that I think will prove that it's still possible. It's just a little bit less responsive.
Okay.
And if you want to get the same gameplay that you have now, you just got to back up a little bit.
Okay. Let's take a look at the spare change.
So this is the lowest rate of fire pulse rifle.
Okay.
So these damage on these ones came up a little bit. You are going to increase. So it's going to be a little bit more consistent to get I should say 2 burst headshots. So if you land all your headshots in 2 bursts, you could sometimes kill a Guardian depending on his armor stat.
Jesus. Okay.
And now that's a little bit more common. So again, we're encouraging people to aim for the head. And then, your cleanup kills and team shooting is going to be a little bit more effective this time now too.
And it took a grenade to stop Bonnie's kill streak there. All right, and then let's take a look at.
So this is her memory.
Yeah.
So this is the new Queen's assault rifle, which is going to be launching on April 12th. And this is a low rate of fire weapon. I believe this perk roll might actually have focus fire on it as well. So this is going to be super slow.
Yeah, really slow.
This is basically
Look at that.
like your baby Suros, but it is pretty nasty. These things are pretty effective now. So I'm hoping this makes some of the auto rifle players feel like that they have options aside from Doctrine of Passing.
You should have just
and
called it
Hermeneus.
Baby Suros because that sounds adorable.
Baby Suros.
Can you imagine? Just like, I got a Baby Suros.
Drinks Guardian Tears, not milk.
Exactly, exactly.
So yeah, these are going to be like hopefully more people will adopt these guns. I would love to see that.
All right, and then our last sampling of weapons here in this loadout.
So yeah, this is the Doctrine of Passing with slightly less damage. I really want to emphasize that it was slightly less, so that if you get a bead on a target and you're pretty much locked in on them,
Yeah.
you're still able to melt them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's when you get out of the effective range or when you're trying to engage multiple targets, or like you saw there, if you're having a hard time like actually getting your reticle on the target,
Yep.
it's going to be a little bit less lethal.
Yep.
And it's just meant to sort of like smooth out some of the edge cases and make this gun a little bit less dominant, but still an effective combat
This
tool.
has definitely become one of those polarizing weapons. I see Doctrine of Passing enter the conversation often.
Yep.
And it's either, I love using it and I have it equipped, or I hate getting killed with that gun. And, we're on a good kill streak here. It's working better up close, although, the Stormcaller is a nasty, nasty beast.
Sure is.
And we'll find out exactly what is about to befall that Stormcaller in
Yeah.
just a moment when we bring Grant out to sit
Yeah.
on the couch.
And then last but not least is our new Drake's Promise. So yeah, the way this works is very similar to the tracking perk on rocket launchers.
Yep.
So as you aim down the sights, you will acquire a target, and then the projectiles will lock to it.
So you want to aim it.
Yep.
Definitely want to aim it.
Unlike the rocket launcher tracking perk, there is no audio. So if you're familiar with like Truth and you can aim down the sights and you sort of get that beeping audio,
Sure.
it lets you know that you have a target locked. There's nothing like that for this gun. You just have to trust. But it is Greg's Promise. Greg Pang, our weapons designer,
Okay.
he worked on this. It has become Greg's Promise. He did a great job. There has been a little bit of work on the projectiles because once we did the new locking stuff, it was extremely, extremely good.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit more balanced out now.
Sounds
so-
scary. I mean, when you do that, when you say, okay, now this gun has tracking rounds and they work a lot better, or you're always kind of like, all right, I'm going to
Yeah.
give this to the community, and it's like, let's see what happens.
It
This
is
thing
very
could
much-
become the
Yeah.
first and last word in Crucible combat. But
Yeah.
we'll keep paying attention. We'll keep studying them. We'll look at the UR data. We'll look at the usage graphs and see
Yeah.
if it takes off like a rocket the same way Mida did when we brought it forward.
Yeah.
But if you're playing in the Crucible, we are watching you and we are studying you, and we're reading the things that you're talking about in the forum, and these are the conversations that we have internal. So while we may not respond to every single tweet talking about weapons, Nusk and the people who create and design these things are always studying you and hoping to better serve you as a player. So.
Yep.
The April update's doing some great stuff in that area. We'll see how people respond to all of it. There's always another game update after this one.
Oh
so
yeah,
it'll be-
My work is never done.
Yeah, fashion is never finished.
Yep.
John, thank you so much for being on the show.
Honor.
And we're going to take a look at the Warlock exhibition here for just a moment, and stick around. Our next subject matter expert will be Grant Mackay to talk about these Warlocks and the way they're fighting each other. Dude, this room temperature water is amazing.
Didn't bring mine.
You got to get yourself some of that.
Right.
So welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Grant Mackay, everyone. This is a newer member of our gameplay team.
Correct.
It seems like just yesterday, although it wasn't, that I showed you around the studio and I was joking around. I was like, oh, so you're the man who's here to nerf the Hunter.
Right.
Back then, the Hunter was a constant topic of conversation. Since then, we've seen some other subclasses come up and go out of, sort of the main conversations. When we first launched the Taken King, it was all about the Solar Titan and those hammers. When you heard that anvil strike, it was just like the only thing you would do is run. Now the Stormcallers are very much a thing that people are talking about. How do you react to those sorts of conversations? What are the things you think about when you take a look at the way subclasses balance each other in the sandbox?
Well, mostly after you gave me so much trouble about the Hunter, I just kind of looked into what you played and decided to nerf that.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Right.
so much. So it's my fault that we're having a Warlock design pass
It's not
today.
actually, yeah. So I was gentle as you asked on Twitter. What we actually look at is how people are playing them, what they're using, and how actually successful that they are. And so if something's being used too much or too little, we try to use that as the metric to sort of balance on. If everybody's doing Warlock exactly one way, that's kind of a problem.
It's kind of boring.
Right.
Give people incentives to embrace different archetypes.
And empower the different kind of play styles that we have, that sort of thing.
Okay, cool. Well, we have put the Warlocks under the microscope. Let's see how they're performing in the Crucible. And as we watch these people, we'll load up one subclass at a time, and we'll have you give us a sense of what you've changed and how that is impacting the way that they're performing in this Rumble fight. So who do we have up first?
This is the Sun Singer.
All right.
And actually, you just saw him try to melee his way to victory with a flame shield there. And one of the more contentious changes, we've actually lowered the amount of shield that's going to provide for Sun Singers who try to run up and sort of win every fight. And we've also reduced the frequency at which you can acquire a flame shield.
Okay.
Beyond that, we looked at the other melees to try and bring them up a little bit so that there were other play styles there. So if you're running something like Solar Wind, that's going to be available a lot more if you want to like push a shotgunner out of your face or something.
Gotcha.
And then also Brimstone, more specifically in PvE, has got a nice damage boost, so you can cause like little miniature star explosions and have all sorts of fun.
So talk about the super. This super. Is active now.
So this is Radiance. What we did was tried to make some trade-offs in it. So if you're running Fireborn like 90% of the other players, you're going to notice it's not going to last quite as long. I think actually someone posted a video analysis of one of our previous Twitch streams and actually called me out on that before we had talked about it. But also we try to make it a little smoother when you're throwing the grenades. You're going to see maybe 1 or 2 more grenades in your super if you're not running Fireborn. And you're gonna see some extra buffs for your allies if you're running one of the other upgrades, that sort of thing.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look at our next subclass. And what do we have here?
This would be the Stormcaller, my favorite.
Yes. All right. This was one of the first things you worked on here. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So how is the Stormcaller different? What have you done?
So we just wanted to adjust a few player frustrations. A lot of people were a little upset with, seeing a Stormcaller pop their landfall like we just saw right there.
There we go.
And it would blow up a Titan bubble and blind everyone. So we've reined that in a little. You can't blow up Titan bubbles anymore, for example.
And watch it drain.
Right, and it's not gonna blind everyone on the map anymore. Also, the builds that some people were running, where they chose all the perks to make their Storm Trance last essentially, half the match or whatever it was. We've reined a lot of those in, and we've tried to make it a little bit more decision-based. So if you're sort of spamming your Arc Lightning everywhere, it's going to drain a lot faster now. It's not as free anymore. You're going to have to think about it a little bit more. But again, we've tried to make sure that we didn't just straight destroy the class. They're not in that bad of a place actually in terms of the actual statistics for their kill death
Okay. Okay.
I'm glad now that you talked about that so much that I left it alone.
Yeah.
What we did try to do was emphasize a sort of gameplay personality that the Voidwalker has. So they're lagging a little bit behind the other subclasses in terms of output.
Okay.
So we tried to bring him up a little, and we did that with sort of his energy vampire abilities. So you can see right now as he's playing, he's using sort of his melees and his grenades to sort of destroy people and rip out their souls and turn that into more super energy or more grenade energy or to heal himself.
Yeah.
So the specific changes are again in the patch notes, but it's all about that cycle of using your abilities correctly to make sure you always have an ability available.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, and my playing style is, my thumb skills are not amazing, is definitely as a support player. Definitely somewhat of a brawler. You know, I wear the Void Fangs because I like the grenades. I definitely try to punch my way out of any close encounter. Pardon me?
It's interesting that you picked Warlock for that.
You know, I like it. This is how stupid I am. I just like the way they dress. I mean, yeah, maybe I should have been a Titan, but I like the glide. I like the fluidity of the movement also. So I'm definitely one of those players that makes emotional decisions, but the changes that you've made to the Voidwalker are something that I'll probably have a lot of fun with. What specifically could we call out as we watch this Warlock fight?
So,
that was a hell of a punch. Nice.
He had it going before, but he's kind of wasted his cooldowns. Not to put him on the spot or anything, but you've probably noticed even when they were playing earlier with the Thorn and stuff.
Yeah.
If you catch it correctly, you're going to get another grenade back really quickly on your energy drain ability. So that's kind of the thing that happens when you melee people with your charge, or when you use some of your other perks and that kind of thing.
I'll freely admit to you that I don't notice much. All I do is I see pretty combat and awesome explosions.
You can see it right there as his cooldown was coming back.
Okay.
Very quickly. He also is using his melee pretty freely. We've sort of improved the Voidwalker responsiveness in their melees, so made them all more like Surge. They happen immediately on hit. So if you're needing that energy back or that health, it's going to happen more immediately now.
Okay. So the Voidwalker is
he's kind of getting bodied right now though.
Proper vampire. Well, you know, these are some of the more skilled players that we have. I mean, these are our PvP testers. So yes, Nova Bomb, yes. There you go, nice comeback. But it's a tough room. It's a tough room, especially when everyone's playing as a Warlock, which I'm sure we can both agree is the best subclass in the game. It appeals to the best type of Destiny player, the most intelligent warrior in the Crucible. Are any of these points landing with you?
I mean,
no. This is I've got the peanut gallery over here. Like you guys are like dueling Caesars over here. Obviously, you know, watching this unfold on a stream is one thing. Playing it for yourselves is quite another. And we will have, as you promised, the full patch notes, which will explain all of these changes in greater detail. We'll give you the stats, we'll give you the math, we'll give you the things that you can debate and explain. And really, it all comes down to the way these things feel when they get in and play for themselves. That's when we really learn what we've created, yeah?
Truth, yes.
Yeah.
And then we get to observe and readjust. And it's not going to be perfect the first time, probably, but we'll get there.
What is perfection? Perfection is a thing we strive for. So last thing we would address, I got a lot of questions in chat about firebolt grenades.
Oh, here we go. So yeah, that was the other thing that was talked about a lot. On top of Storm Trance being too long, people were really worried about the dot.
Yeah.
And the truth is, there's no simple solution there. So dots aren't just about the damage they deal.
Yeah.
I think John got into that a little bit. They are also about the amount of time you can see your opponent, even through a wall, because you see numbers coming out of them. And they're also about stopping their shield regen so that they can't re-engage you. And so a lot of the Sunsinger subclass is built around these dots and using them with Firebolt. Firebolt on its own is actually not that strong, but it's more the Viking funeral build, as it's called.
Yeah.
And without essentially rebuilding an entire section of this subclass,
Yep.
there was no simple way to adjust that. So we kind of left it alone. We looked at other points of frustration like Flame Shield and tried to take a little bit of the power out there and hopefully. Hopefully that's enough, but we're still watching.
So the word is Firebolt grenades at this point in time are basically unchanged.
Basically unchanged, yes.
Okay.
Not basically, they are unchanged.
They are unchanged. All right. Well, every Guardian needs to have something that unleash the new bits. Download them. Please play. Please let us know what you think. Please get in there and give your Guardian new ways to become powerful. And we'll see how things evolve and we'll see how things unfold.
Go Voidwalker.
Go Voidwalker. So thanks again so much for watching. I'm Deej from Bungie. That is the end of our show. We'll be back on the Bungie blog tomorrow with more detail on all of these fronts. What else? Nothing. See you in the reef. That's the show.
300 lumières. Oui. Hello. Good night. On s'en fait un tout à l'heure, Destiny. Oh. Attends. Attends. Attends, non. Quelques minutes. Monsieur m'entend. Attends. Ah, puis c'est qui bug. Oula. Et attends. Vas-y.
Eh bien bonjour à tous. Et ouais, le live il s'est bien passé. Très bien passé. Je suis en ligne avec Gatti Romain. Présenté, vas-y.
Et yes. Oh, pour cher internaute anglais, parce que des anglais, j'ai vu dans le live qu'il y avait des anglais. Alors, hello Expanses Valley, subscribed, you to go, you are where is only destiny.
Voilà, heureusement j'ai un anglais à côté de moi. Excellent, donc on va tout présenter ça. Voilà. Donc c'était le dernier live de
Excuse-moi.
Bungie. Hein?
Non, j'ai lu excuse me.
Ah oui. Ah c'est super, on va faire des nouveaux trucs. Le prochain mise à jour. Voilà, on va parler de ça, tout ça. Voilà.
Il me semble que j'ai vu le chardon.
Le chardon, t'es sûr?
Revolver.
Le chardon.
Attends, pour ce.
Le chardon. Ah, c'est pas le pistolet revolver?
Ouais, le pistolet.
Ah, c'est ça. Ah, c'est peut-être ça aussi. Voilà, donc la mise à jour, tout ça. Donc on va présenter. Voilà, on va gagner 120 de points. C'est pas mal dans l'avant-garde. Soyez allés. Moi je suis pressé. Niveau 41 et tout ça. Ok. Voilà, il y a plein d'armures. C'est magnifique ça. C'est dingue ça.
Attends, non, j'ai un petit truc à dire aux Anglais là.
Ah, dépêche-toi.
Alors, English agony. So use the expensive English sister. Ah, c'est une
Ah.
question.
C'est une question. Hein. Ok.
Question. Question.
Bon, il y a des jolis. Des armes, des avions. C'est pas mal ça. On n'a pas tout ça là. Ah, si, on a quelques-uns, mais bon.
Des vaisseaux.
Des vaisseaux, c'est super ça. Ouais, voilà, maintenant c'est les trucs orange. Maintenant, c'est pas mal aussi. Et c'est pas mal aussi, c'est pas mal. Des pièces rares, des armes. Bon, il y a plein à gagner, c'est incroyable, c'est... Moi j'aime bien. Voilà. On va aller directement sur mise à jour d'avril. Voilà, c'est ça. C'est ça, moi j'aime bien ça. Ah, il faut que ça charge tout ça là, parce que ça va être long. Nom du Dieu. Qu'est-ce que c'est long cette merde. Bon. Ah, le boss. Alors le boss, ça va être super à voir. Moi j'aime bien de le tuer là, avec un coup d'épée. C'est pas mal. Moi j'aime bien. Alors oui, il y aura des nouveaux des défis. Ce sera dans prison de vétérans. Ça va être bien ça. Des récompenses. Ça va être pas mal aussi. Et une nouvelle de mise à jour de l'épreuve, tout ça. Tout ça, on a vu du 30, du 23, c'est ça, du 23 mars. Ouais, du 23 mars au 30. Voilà. Et du 6 avril, le dernier live qu'ils ont fait. Ouais, ça va, ça a duré, je sais pas, vers 1h30.
Yes, good job, good. Je parle moins anglais, mais c'est bon, c'est fini là.
Ouais, t'es fort en anglais, toi. Moi, j'arrive même pas. Non, mais c'est pas mal ça. Vous êtes pressé pour le 12, vous marquez ça dans les commentaires. Vite. En plus que ça. Voilà, donc, ouais. Alors, la mise à jour de combien de gigas? Alors ça, je ne sais pas du tout. On verra bien. Moi, je dirais dans les 1 giga, 2 gigas ou... On verra, hein. Peut-être minimum 10. Hein. Sur PS3, 10 et peut-être sur PS4 un petit peu plus. On verra. Et voilà, on va aller jusqu'à 335 de lumière. Oh, c'est excellent ça, encore du boulot. C'est pas vrai. Encore du boulot. C'est bien ça. Ah, c'est quoi ça? Hey. Ça c'est super à voir. Ça c'est... Moi
Tous en train de regarder PSG Manchester City.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
Oh oui, il y a PSG Manchester City, il est champion.
Oh, oui. Ouais, ça c'est super ça à voir comme
Je te
l'armure.
raconte un truc.
Ouais.
J'ai joué avec FX, la Tive, là. Il s'était barré pendant qu'on jouait à la nuit noire.
Ouais, hey, c'est
Il
barré.
est sympa, bon lui il est sympa.
Oui.
J'ai fait un caveau de verre avec lui. Le mec il a eu un gros bug, il a volé.
Non.
Il a atterri dans un mur. Il a arrêté de pas de bouger.
Non. Arrête.
Le pauvre.
Moi j'aime bien voir la mur comme ça là. Moi j'aime bien moi. Lui là. Je mets ma souris dessus là. Lui il est super. Moi j'aime bien l'avoir. De toute manière on verra tous. Peut-être pas. On verra bien la prochaine mise à jour. Niveau 41.
300 lumière.
Niveau 41, bon. Ah, on bougera pas, hein. On sera toujours dans le niveau 40. Ils ont dû mettre jusqu'à niveau.
Je vais te rattraper, hein. Je suis 300 de lumière.
Oh le bâtard, je suis à 305 là. Putain. Alors oui, le niveau de lumière, bah ça n'a pas bougé encore, hein. On va rester encore dans le niveau 40. Ils ont dû mettre un petit peu plus, niveau 45, voilà. Ça serait bien si ça continue. Alors j'ai déjà entendu de Destiny 2, des rumeurs, ouais. Bon, Ça parle pas beaucoup, hein. Voilà, prison des vétérans. Ah, c'est pas mal ça. Moi, j'aime bien voir les armures et tout ça là. Super. Des boss à tuer là. Ah, des boss à tuer, c'est cool ça. Bim, bim, bim. Retour à la prison.
Yeah, yeah. Allez tout le monde, chers abonnés, good night.
Ouais. Sur Facebook aussi. J'ai mis le lien en dessous. Voilà, des nouvelles enquêtes, compétences, voilà. De l'assaut, coupe, voilà. Il y a plein de trucs à voir, tout ça, pour le prochain mise à jour. Ça va être énorme, énorme. Alors, ça va être un boss, ça. Il est pas mal, ce boss. Oui, je crois bien que ça va être un boss. C'est dans l'assaut. Assaut Corrampus. Oh, bonne nouvelle. Bonne nouvelle. Voilà, on va avoir des nouveaux trucs. On va avoir des nouveaux trucs dans le raid, dans la chute du roi. Et à côté, là, un titan libre. Et ben, on peut faire plein de choses aussi. Hein. Je crois bien qu'ils vont rajouter des trucs. J'espère qu'ils vont rajouter des trucs parce que là, pas beaucoup. Et ça c'est bien, on va jouer jusqu'à 330 de lumière. Waouh! Jusqu'à 320 de lumière. Bah déjà je suis même pas arrivé là. Déjà ils ont mis à 300 plus 5. Voilà, donc 335 de lumière. Ça va être chaud patate. Sauf bosser, sauf bosser. Voilà. Voilà. Voilà, cette semaine de chez Benji 31. Il y a quoi de mieux Ah, boss. Donc ça sera un boss comme ça. Attendez que ça charge. Ah voilà, c'est un boss comme ça. On va tuer comme ça. Ça va être super, tuer la tête. Son tir dans la tête, je crois bien. Pas au milieu du ventre. Ça va être long encore. Ah voilà, on voit mieux là. Voilà, ça va être ça. Une fois je vous montre... Ah bah la vidéo est là. Ça sera mieux à regarder comme ça. On va avancer un peu hein, parce que voilà, il y aura des nouveaux boss également. Des nouvelles enquêtes. Ça qui est pas mal à faire. Voilà, des nouvelles contrats à faire, ça va être pas mal aussi. Voilà. On va avoir des contrats et tout ça, ça va être super génial. Ok. Voilà. Encore des nouvelles enquêtes, ça va être pas mal aussi. On va avancer. Voilà, ça va être un boss comme ça, on va le tuer avec, je sais pas moi, un lance-roquette, ou une épée, voilà, un snipe, un revolver, voilà, plein de choses. Mitraillette. Plein de choses. Mais ça va être beau à voir. Très très beau à voir. Et le titan aussi, moi je trouve pas mal aussi, mais moi je préfère celle-là. Là. Pas mal. Moi j'aime bien. On va avancer un peu. Est-ce qu'ils vont jouer? Et voici, voilà. Le fameux boss aussi, qui est pas mal aussi. Ça c'est le deuxième boss. Ça, moi j'aime bien le personnage. Le chasseur là, pas mal comme ça. Et ça aussi, c'est un boss d'enfer aussi, un coup de... C'est pas mal. Ça serait pas mal ça. Ça c'est pas mal. Ok, ils vont pas partir encore dans la Russie, voilà, ça change. Ça c'est quoi ça? Ah, et ça c'est la petite pub. Voilà. Déjà, là, stop. Là, ici, là, dans la tour, ils ont même pas été là-dedans. Alors donc, je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. Qu'est-ce qu'il y aura dans la tour? Là, ici à côté, bah, il y aura des nouvelles choses à faire. Hein. Là, donc là, ils vont prendre la prison des vétérans. Ah voilà, ça c'est bloqué maintenant. Ça va être en dessous en dessous de la mission. Ça serait pas mal. On va regarder jouer. On va avancer. Voilà, il y a 2 à faire, c'est pas mal ça. De 260 de lumière, niveau 41. Bon, ça va, hein, déjà on fait de la nuit noire, hein, beaucoup plus chaud, hein, évidemment. La nuit noire, c'est 42, hein. Ça va, hein, c'est plus chaud la nuit noire. Voilà. Et en dessous, 320 de lumière pour une fois. Pour une fois, on va jouer. C'est excellent de jouer. Niveau 42, donc ça dépasse carrément la nuit noire. Hein. On va essayer ça. Hein. Dès le 12 avril pour vous. Sur PS3, PS4, One et 360. Heureusement, ça continue de faire des mises à jour sur PS3 et sur 360. Heureusement. Alors, ils vont parler du contrat, ils vont jouer tout à l'heure. On va avancer. Là, c'est les présentations. Bon, je crois bien là, ils vont commencer à jouer là dans Prison des vétérans. Est-ce qu'ils vont commencer à jouer là? Est-ce que j'ai bien... Voilà, ça y est, ça commence. On va regarder un peu tout ça là. Bon, hein, c'est les mêmes choses hein, qu'ils n'ont pas changé. Hein. Toujours pareil, mais on va peut-être pas voir les vrais boss qu'ils vont faire. Déjà, on va pas voir tout.
Who needs the treasure room when Barracks is guaranteeing a weapon or a piece of armor? So we have 3 rounds, and we can already look in the lower right-hand corner and see that they've already accumulated a score of 205. Your super's charged. Those orbs. Those orbs. So when we're playing in the development environment, we see some ghosts and echoes of the original user.
En tout cas, c'est pas mal. Déjà, on va parler pas mal de trucs là qui vont... On va parler de tout ça encore. Là, c'est la première vidéo que je vous montre. Après, on va regarder la deuxième vidéo. Et la troisième vidéo, bah, on a déjà regardé. C'est pas la peine de le revoir. La troisième vidéo. Ça a réagi tout de suite, le boss. Hein. Putain. Moi j'ai trop hâte de jouer sur PS3. Hein.
yesterday, what we established in the rehearsal. So
Yeah.
You guys have it coming. So this isn't just a scored event, this is also a timed event.
Yes.
So there's a balance between farming the combatants for points and getting the job done in a timely fashion. So not only does this appeal to people's desire for combat, but it also sort of appeals to that speed running sensibility.
Right. And
Mais moi j'aime pas les trucs boucliers là, qui... Ça te gêne trop. Moi j'aime pas trop. Tu gaspilles trop de balles en fait.
at this point, I believe, is, yeah,
55 points.
yeah, he just got 55 points.
Are they also getting points for creating orbs?
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of different types of builds. Sometimes you want to play your Titan, Defender Titan,
Yeah.
and you're not going to get a lot of super kills with that. But I wanted to make sure that you weren't punished for going Defender Titan. So you get points for orbs.
And see how are they doing on that boss? Now, is there a timer on this that will end the round for them? I mean, they're obviously getting their scores subtracted because this is taking longer than Varys would like.
No,
No.
you know, and you just saw reinforcements incoming behind.
Le boss est déjà presque mort alors.
That is based on how much damage.
Ça va très vite, très vite.
So there's about 5 reinforcement phases based off boss health, totally controllable by the players. And it looks like they're going, yeah. Oh wow! Look at all those points, 600 points. Okay. Oh.
They take him down?
Yeah, they took him down,
All
so
right.
they're gonna return to the airlock.
Okay, back to the airlock, boys. You know the drill. And we'll see which one of you was the most deadliest guardian on your team.
I don't think it was me.
Now we go. Power positive thinking, guys. All right, so we're playing in the dev environment, so you're not going to see their actual character names. These are some of the fun names that we use when we are testing the game. And there we go. There's the score. Move the needle. Raise your hand.
À quelle heure faire un Destiny
It wasn't going to be
No,
you.
it was Dearly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
So,
À quelle heure
round two.
Mais quoi?
Un Destiny
Yes.
Je sais pas.
So
Je sais pas.
it looks like they're going to the hive section.
Okay.
Bon, regarde. Moi j'ai trop envie de jouer. J'ai trop.
These are going to be these bosses the same ones that we're going to encounter all week long, or is this random every single time we play?
Oh, it's the same for the entire week.
Okay.
So you're going for high score. You can switch up your tactics. Now this is
Deuxième boss.
Taken Knight.
Parti.
He, you know, brand new boss for Prison of Elders, and he does the normal Taken Knight stuff, but his special ability is his fire breath lingers a while longer and has a bigger area of effect. So he's really about area of denial. Now I don't know if Twitch chat caught this, but engrams are dropping. So all the Prison of Elders, all of the combatants are now worth bounty. Like if you have a bounty to kill Taken, like you can come to the Prison of Elders and do those bounties.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. And they're also dropping engrams.
Yeah, so we're dropping engrams, we're letting you dive down into the treasure room once a week. You can play this as many times as you want to get rewards from Barrett. So Prison of Elders is a lot more rewarding than we remember.
Yes.
It's quite a bountiful hunting ground.
So and
T'as vu, j'avais 10, hein.
what plus one
10 personnes, hein.
plus 90. So
Ça a monté, hein.
the thing I wanted to do is make it
Bah là, j'ai encore un.
the later it got.
C'est pareil, à tout honneur, les gens ils vont revenir, t'inquiète pas, ils vont revenir.
on the given.
Ils sont durs à choisir.
Okay, so it's not a matter of scoring 10,000 points every single round. The scoring is going to be exponentially more profitable round over round.
Absolutely, and I did that because this mode has checkpoints.
Yeah.
So I know the community was pretty vocal about not having checkpoints in the original one. So I wanted to make sure that you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go have dinner, like you can come back and finish up.
Life finds a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Switching is the way forward.
So this boss is below half health. Yeah, it looks like Varric has yet to start subtracting their score, and they're looking for that sweet spot somewhere between carnage and efficiency. Score your points off of killing the ads, but make sure you take that ball on your path. That's the path to high score.
Yep. And yeah, I imagine someday there will be a fire team that can kill all the ads with the points multiplier for the win.
Et oui, je vous en parle aussi, j'ai fait une nouvelle musique qui va sortir le 25 avril et une nouvelle musique qui sort le 12 avril aussi. Alors, donc voilà. J'ai commencé à bosser un petit peu chaud. Écoutez, moi je vous mets dans le lien Ronan Gaming 22. C'est attention, c'est exclusif que je fais ça. Parce que
Yeah, Warlock goes back in the lock. Yep.
So who was our lead scorer last time? All right, let's see if you can go best 2 out of 3.
voilà. Une nouvelle musique là que j'ai fabriquée qui va sortir le 25 avril. Vous pouvez l'écouter, vous pouvez faire j'aime sur ma page Ronan DJ 22. Voilà, je vous envoie tout ça directement, ce sera beaucoup plus facile. Est-ce que ça va marcher comme ça? Oui, c'est bon, voilà. Vous pouvez faire j'aime sur le gros pouce, hein.
Pouce bleu.
Le pouce bleu.
So you'll probably recognize the pilot servitor
Voilà.
from original. He's gained the ability to teleport and drop spider tank mines.
So he's jumping around the map, he's creating a perimeter around himself when he arrives in his new camping spot. We're gonna kill some ads.
Ooh, 270 for a precision kill.
So if he earns 270 points for a precision kill, what's the modifier there? What makes a precision kill?
Ah oui, je suis vraiment désolé pour le tout début de la vidéo parce qu'il y a eu un petit bug. Pas pourquoi. Donc bah voilà. Pas pourquoi. Donc la mise à jour, ça va être gros, hein. On verra bien.
So,
What happens if they wipe? What happens if they don't? What happens if they don't survive this round? Do they get to just come back again and again and again and farm it for cumulative score?
no. They actually, when you wipe on Prison of Elders, it will reset your
In challenge mode.
in challenge mode.
So right now their score is 20,000. They came in with a score of like 14.
Right.
So they have 20,000 now. They're getting close to their goal here. But if they die here, if they wipe, and if they're sent back to the airlock,
Right.
oh,
So
is this going to happen?
it appears that it is.
Well, in the interest of science, our fire team has agreed to wipe. But
Right.
now we can see that their score is back at 14,930 points.
Yes.
So let's bring it home.
Yeah. So.
En tout cas, ça va être super chaud, hein.
The previous round, so you can't just farm it.
L'œil.
Oh, I'll just.
We can check. White pipe, white pipe, white pipe, white pipe.
Nice.
And somebody throws in some Iron Banner icons just for a little bit of.
Moi, je préfère le premier vidéo parce
All right,
que
so here we go.
il y a
We're
plus
back.
d'assaut à faire.
Now you guys are going for high score this week, right? We're gonna show them some of the rewards.
That would be good if you guys get to 30,000.
We'll do our best.
In the interest of showmanship, I demand nothing less of you. Of course, I'm singing the
Exactly. We're sitting over there. Yeah. Hey.
It's really the life.
All right.
I really appreciate
Brought our
you doing all
ads.
the shooting and the dating.
No.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh la vache! Mais t'as vu ça les ballons? vache. Excellent.
Certainly happy problem to have because that's how you're going to pad your score.
Ooh.
It's also how
I
you're
got you.
Yeah,
cut
apparently.
down in the prime.
Typical mobile Titan.
Et après, on va parler dans le deuxième vidéo. Qu'est-ce qui se cache? Un petit coffre.
Oh,
Un coffre rose,
well, you
magnifique.
decided to be mean.
On va parler de ça aussi tout à l'heure.
Oh.
I think we
Il y
got
aura une petite pause qui va arriver quand la vidéo sera terminée, la rediffusion, hein. Bien sûr. Hein. Maintenant,
Five and 5 million.
And one thing you'll notice is you're also getting points for assists. So if you guys want to maybe take their health down a little bit and then have someone else get a precision kill, you'll get
ah, il vous reste encore un petit peu de temps. Après, une petite pause. Après, ça va reprendre le petit coffre rose.
exactly. Yeah,
Moi, j'aime bien l'œil.
you're at 25,000
C'est intéressant.
right now.
Yeah. So if they were to take down the boss right now, there would be no reward for them. So they definitely want to make sure that they cross the threshold before they kill the boss.
Okay.
T'as vu ce que je t'ai envoyé sur
Will get a
Facebook
reward.
que Janine
There
Crowley?
is still
Oui,
some
ouais.
activity rewards at the max.
Je ne savais pas ça.
Not already. I guarantee weapon from Barracks. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. Ah non.
You guys are near. You guys are zeroing in here. You're closing in on the prize, guys. We are less than 2,000 points away
Get
from
those
your goal,
assists.
gentlemen. Make those orbs, kill
Alors,
those ads.
n'hésitez pas à faire j'aime, faire des
You're now
pouces
1,000
bleus.
points away from goal.
Mad
seeing lots of
points.
orbs.
Mad points. The
There
boss
you
alone
go.
will get us
All
that.
right, you've done it. Now all you got to do is escape with your lives.
And kill him before Varric starts taking away points.
Look at that. Look at that.
Barracks
They
don't
mean
take our
business
points.
now. Now they mean business. And the pilot crashes.
All kill.
Ah.
Good
And
job,
the crowd
guys.
goes wild.
Yeah.
Good job, gentlemen. So that's the end of the activity. You are invited back to the reef.
Been trying.
Let's go check in with Barracks and let's see what you got.
Ah,
It just wouldn't be a
qui ça a tué l'œil?
Oh,
Exactly. Oh, and Dearly again.
Nice job.
Are-
Well played. See, there's precision kills.
Ooh, legendary engram.
Thanks for playing.
C'est bien, on va gagner des gros trucs, hein. C'est intéressant.
Scorecard?
Et voilà.
Take a look, see how it. Alright, so.
Un légendaire.
Score highlighted. They hit the goal for the week, and they're a third of the way
Voilà,
to the
voilà,
How
voilà.
often can you hit your goal for the week?
You can hit it once.
That's why you call it the goal for the week.
Exactly.
On va arriver où?
How clever. But they can keep playing to reach that
Ah, ils vont gagner des trucs là.
their piece of armor.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about what piece of armor, you may ask, next week.
Putain, ils ont de la chance, hein. On va passer directement. En mode.
We've got some interesting perks on there.
Voilà.
And
Ça, c'est super à voir ça.
I can see some new, never before seen
Voilà. Ça, c'est magnifique ça. C'est super, il y a de la puissance.
Next week?
next week.
Alright.
Next week is going to be devoted to exploring the gear, the weapons, the armor, and all of the things that we'll be providing as part of the April update as a logical extension
La
of the
puissance qu'il a,
to help you level up, to help you become more powerful.
ça va être pas mal.
That's why Guardians fight, and we're sure.
Ok, on va faire une petite pause et on va se retrouver par le cube rose. Allez, à tout de suite.
while you fight well.
Vraiment. Est-ce que t'as faim? Oh non, trollé. Est-ce que t'as faim? T'es sûr? Ok. Au revoir. Attention, c'est des vrais humains. Ici, c'est des vrais humains. Ah non? Je pense que c'est des vrais humains. C'est des vrais humains. Mais non, je rigole, c'est pas des vrais humains. C'est un charcutier qui fait ça.
Ok, c'est bon, la pause est terminée. Voilà, on va parler d'un cube extraordinaire. Un cube rose. Un truc rose, hein, deux cubes. C'est excellent à voir. Excellent à voir. Donc c'est parti, on va avancer tout ça là. On va avancer tout ça. Alors. Ah voilà. J'ai trouvé. Alors, on va avancer. Ils vont me parler, voilà, plein de trucs extraordinaires. C'est peut-être là. Ok.
And we're going to take a look at the entire spring line. And in order to help me accomplish that, I have
On va
a
avancer,
fabulous...
hein, on va pas... Alors, là ici, pas pourquoi, mais son étoile est superbe. Pas vous? Moi j'aimerais bien voir le même étoile. Ok. Là ici... Ah oui voilà, ils ont rajouté un petit truc, attendez.
So you can
Voilà.
take that and you can make it a little bit more transparent. So if you're working with a plasma TV, or if you're working with a device that is prone to burn-in, you can minimize the risk there. And in this case, if you're a content creator and you love to take screenshots or you love to make your own videos, we can give you a slightly more cinematic experience to enable that. So thanks so much to the user interface team. I think it was Andrew Davis who did some work on that.
That it was.
So yeah, many backs to pat if you want to do that. And as we make our way through the reef,
voilà.
other world out changes.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a là-dedans?
Out at me,
Bon.
first of all.
Bah, ils vont pas nous montrer, hein. Ah si, voilà.
Voilà,
rien du tout, en fait.
Voilà.
Les nouvelles choses à faire.
Cool. Okay.
Ok.
And this system, as you can see, is going to remind.
Ah voilà.
And they're going to come out
la
of
fameuse,
Zur's secret hideout, and I guess she's going to
Voilà.
help us judge the
La
fashion
fameuse...
show, or she's just going to walk away. Yeah, we're conducting some
la
other
fameuse...
business here. So
Oh merde,
just
j'ai
go about your
failli
way.
dire boîte,
Clear the
pas
set.
boîte, mais...
Because we are going to
la fameuse,
welcome 3
porte
Guardians.
jaune.
And they're going to come out of Zoro's
Alors qu'est-ce
secret
qu'il y a là-dedans?
hideout.
Bah, des personnages.
And the
Bien
first
sûr.
thing we're going to take a look
Des
at is the
personnages qui dansent.
Heliopause line for Dead Orbit. So please
C'est intéressant.
join us on the runway and show us what you got. There you
Il y en
go.
a 3.
Brand new for
Ils vont
spring
danser.
is new armor.
C'est
courtesy of
intéressant.
Dead
C'est
Orbit.
rigolo.
So
Moi j'aime bien.
I can see that each one of these Guardians has a special glow. The Warlock is bathed in this beautiful blue light. No, I do not want to wrestle right now. Thank you so much. And then we've got, that's extremely rude. That's the hunters are always kind of arrogant. You know, it's that roguish sensibility. And then we've got, last but certainly not least, the Titan.
Voilà,
Who doesn't want my
il danse très bien. Vous voyez.
So talk to me about the fact that we've got this red glow, the yellow glow, and the blue glow. What's at work there?
So this is the new Chroma system. It's from our Golden Age technology. It's a new system in the world that lets our Guardians further customize themselves. What it is it's per armor piece.
Okay.
And we have 4 colors that will go into it, and these colors are going to be there regardless of what shader you put on your Guardian.
Okay, cool. All right, Guardians, thank you so much. You're looking fabulous.
Okay,
Go ahead, and up next we're going to take a look at the new Monarchy line. So you said that the chroma selections that we make are per armor piece. So
Yes.
the Guardians that we were just looking at were unified.
Mhm.
The Warlock glowed blue on every armor piece, but you can change that out. You can-
All personal choice.
all personal choice. So I can have red gauntlets, I can have a blue helmet, I can have a white chest piece.
Absolutely.
What are all the colors that we've added?
We have white, yellow, blue, and red.
All right, very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll keep the fashion show rolling here. Up next, let's show what we have for New Monarchy.
Voilà. Deuxième
Good,
personnage
good.
qui vient de sortir.
So,
Je crois bien qu'il y a en
Here's our
total, il y en a
Warlock.
4 qui sortent.
awkwardly dancing at the Christmas party. Here's our Hunter. And here is our Titan. Well, let me get out of the way of that.
La statue, la liberté.
And
Et je lance le ballon.
so, looking mean, looking fancy. And thank you so much. Up next, we're going to take a look at the infinite fashionability of future Warcult.
So with the chroma colors, we really wanted to give everyone the ability to express themselves. So we went with a neutral color, and then we went around the color wheel so that we give everyone
Okay.
a very diverse range of emotions and feelings and customization to their characters.
So I see here that you have selected white chroma to complement your New Monarchy Titan. And when we think about New Monarchy, all of their shaders are red. So if someone's a die-hard New Monarchy fan and they want to wear a red shader, pardon me, on their outfit.
Bon voilà,
they're using
ils vont
white
montrer
chroma,
des
what
petits
happens?
personnages comme ça tout le temps. Il y en aura tout le temps. Je crois bien que vous avez déjà vu. Mais on va parler de la fameuse boîte. Ah, ça c'est pas mal ça. Moi j'aime bien. Moi j'aime bien comme ça. Ça fait stylé, ça sort mieux, ça change. Pour une fois ça change.
Yep.
Here's our
Vraiment
Titan.
ça danse. Non, ça danse
And they've
pas.
accessorized with one of our new strike uniques on the back.
So there's Taken effect weapons as well. They look like Taken weapons, but they operate like human weapons.
Est-ce
And
qu'ils vont
did you
danser?
get that from a strike?
Je ne sais plus moi.
From the Winter's Run.
Ouais, je crois bien.
Ah, okay. Okay, cool.
Non, ils dansent pas.
And do we have?
Ok. On va se retrouver là.
Question would be, how do I get the Taken armor? How do I get the new Spectre line?
So the Taken armor and the Spectre lines
Voilà.
are both available in
Ils vont parler de la
Sterling
fameuse boîte rose.
Sterling Treasure
Excellent.
Box.
Yes.
Okay, and where do I get that?
So you get that from a few different places. If you want to go take a look at your Postmaster,
Okay.
that's one of them.
All right.
Another place you get it is when you complete the level 41 Prison of Elders, the new matchmade activity. And from your first completion of the weekly Crucible, activity.
Not to be confused with the weekly Crucible bounty, which
No.
is pretty intensive and takes a lot of blood and sweat. There's the weekly featured activity.
Yep, right on the top level of the director. Take a look, and you hop right in.
Bottom left.
Et voilà,
corner,
la
this is
fameuse
right there.
boîte.
Yep,
Et
play
ben
around
voilà,
control
il y a
or
tous
whatever
les
it might
objets
be.
qui sont là-dedans.
Okay.
Presque
Along
une vue.
with some legendary marks on the completion of
De
my
quoi?
game.
Yes.
Okay.
Une
So,
vidéo de miniature.
Before I collect
Ah
this,
oui,
I'm
ça.
actually going to preview the
Oh, bah,
content.
dis donc, déjà.
951 vues.
So here's my Sterling Treasure box. You can see here that I have a
Désolé.
guaranteed item. So I'm
Ah,
definitely
voilà.
going to get
Et ben c'est
one
là-dedans,
of
je reviens.
these.
Mais pas tout, hein.
Okay. And so these are the desolate items.
Yes.
This is what will enable me to look like a Taken Guardian. And these look like vanity.
Ah oui, ça, je me dis.
Yes. They're
These all drop a
3 défenses,
Yes.
alors là.
Okay.
Chapeau,
moving
on va
on
pas aller
to
loin.
Spectre
Mais
items.
si, on va aller beaucoup.
What we've been
Mais
calling
si,
inside
on
Bungie
peut
Chroma
l'améliorer
here.
maintenant. Directement.
So
Si par exemple
all
vous
of
avez
these
un
pieces of
330,
armor, I'm kind
et
of
ben
reminded
ça va
of,
être
Sparrow
directement un
Racing,
330.
Where we
Voilà.
had cool, fun
C'est-
armor
c'est
that
simple.
we were providing
C'est simple.
through Eververse. But they dropped at level 3, but I can infuse them up if I truly love
Et
them.
les
I can
couleurs.
put them in combat.
Yep.
So that's the similar idea here, huh?
Les couleurs pour les armures et des
And
armes.
then
Mais
I
donc
also
j'ai
have
payé
in
quoi.
each box one of these possible items. So let's take a look. So we've got the I've got the Spectre Bond as well as class items. for
Oh
every
oui, le
class of
vaisseau de
target.
malade. Moi j'aime bien ce vaisseau.
And then Vanguard Reputation Booster. Looks like we
Là,
got
j'aime
three
bien.
of these. Talk to me about
Yes.
these.
That increases the reputation you gain from strikes with the Vanguard, from Crucible activities with the Crucible, and from Prison of Elders with the House of Judgment.
Okay.
And in addition to that, we've also dramatically increased the amount of reputation you're gaining from Crucible matches, from strike completion.
Regarde bien ce
from
vaisseau.
missions.
Regarde.
So you're going to be getting these faction rank up packages far more frequently than you've ever gotten them.
And the faction rank up packages are what are going to be the source of the faction armor that we just looked at
Yes.
during our little fashion
All
show.
of the Chroma enabled faction armor that we've been showing off is going to be
Attends.
in these faction packages,
Okay.
not on the faction vendors.
Okay, cool.
Regarde.
And let's take a look. We've got some fun new ships.
Regarde.
And this ship, check it out. This ship has been takenized, takenated, takenified.
Moi, vous voyez ce vaisseau, et ben
My ship has been taken. There we
c'est
go.
trop blanc,
Token
c'est,
ship.
je sais pas,
You heard
c'est
it
trop
here
blanc
first.
pour moi. Mais c'est, il est quand même joli, hein,
So
mais
that
trop
comes
blanc.
out of the Sterling Treasure Box,
Yep.
as well as some other ships.
Trop
We've got a
coloré.
Sparrow that we'll take a look at. We're going to go on a little patrol here, and this is Chroma.
Yes.
So this is a new material that we have that we're adding to your inventories in Destiny, and we've got the 4 units right there. So there's a possibility that I will get Chroma from the box itself. Where else can I get Chroma?
The Sterling Treasure Box is the only place that you get Chroma.
Okay.
But if you dismantle one of the Chroma armor that you get from the box,
Mhm.
that will also turn into Chroma.
Okay. So this you can barely see it ghosted in the inventory there, but I have yellow Chroma
Voilà.
on this armor.
Voilà pour la fameuse boîte, et ben on peut avancer pour ce que c'est
If I
chiant.
break
hein.
down. So I have 12
Bah, la fameuse boîte, il a acheté.
Sterling Treasure boxes. So imagine a world post-April update. I've been
Et de l'Argentine, 4000. Bah, je ne sais pas, avec la mise à jour, on va voir l'Argentine de 4000. Alors, on verra bien hein, qu'est-ce que ça donne.
I can start to open these
On verra bien.
boxes. That drops down my
Alors,
power.
regardez.
Yes.
Il a pris un 3
Because
défense.
This is a level 3 item, but I think it's totally groovy. I'm going to come in here, and
So you should probably infuse that.
you think?
Yeah. I'd
Okay,
say so.
we'll do that first.
But I'm not sure how much you're gonna get. Let's see.
Okay, so let's. You know what? I'm gonna keep that. I think I will dismantle this one,
Yep.
and it's gonna cost me a little bit, but it's all worth it. Now I have a level 330 helmet going into a level 3 item. What do you think I'm?
Le truc tout craqué. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Alors ça, hein, évidemment.
We can place your bets. 198. You think?
200.
200? Okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna get like 175 because I'm just not a lucky person by nature. And
Oh.
look at that, it's 3:30.
Yep.
All right, so all
Et voilà, 330. Et ben voilà.
So now items that you infuse.
Ça, c'est pas mal. Directement, beaucoup plus facile. Hein.
Defense attack, 1 for 1.
Blue looks beautiful.
Voilà, des couleurs, des couleurs. Il va peut-être
Ah,
montrer des
right
couleurs.
beneath the
Ah
chroma,
voilà,
And that randomly
des
reselects
couleurs.
the chroma
Et après, il va
nodes.
effacer.
Okay, you lose any chroma that you've put in.
Okay.
So
So I just spent 1 unit of white chroma to make my helmet look like that. I will be
joli comme
sacrificing
ça.
that unit of white chroma
Moi, j'aime
that I
bien.
won from my treasure box acquired weeks ago.
Yep.
I don't get that back, but in terms of re-rolling this is going to cost me 100 glimmer.
Yep, a little bit of glimmer.
But I'm not going to lose any of this progress.
Nope, you're
Because
good.
if I've upgraded this helmet, if I've unlocked all these nodes, the progress in leveling up the gear stays.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I get to keep these attributes, because this is really what people look at. And when you say, we don't want you to throw away a helmet you like in order to customize it. We don't want you to weigh like, God, I wish I had a blue helmet with this much intellect,
Yeah.
and 37 discipline. So I just come down here. I'm going to hit this. All right, so it's randomized.
Yep.
So now this helmet could be yellow.
Bah oui.
I hit it again.
Yellow
I get
again.
yellow again. Now I get red. I get red again. And now I get blue.
Yep.
And I have 32 units of blue chroma. I
Ok.
apply this to the helmet. And now I am the guardian of my own personal dreams. Good looking stuff. Okay. So you've got a lot of new gear for us to earn.
Yes.
Ok, on va passer tout ça. C'est un peu long. On va passer dans la
So those are gonna
fameuse
be in
coffre.
diagrams.
à côté de nous, en face.
But they are not weapons that I can go up to a shelf and just purchase.
I don't believe so.
Okay. So get your engrams. Get those legendary engrams.
Voilà.
All right, so let's come here to Eververse. Now that we have new fashions on display,
Et voilà.
of course,
Ça, c'est pas mal.
Tess and the gang is
Donc,
not
il y en
going to
a-
be left out of the
Il y
action.
en a une
First
sur
thing
la
that
tour, il y en a
jumps
une dans
out is,
la
if
récif.
I'm not satisfied with the rate at which I'm acquiring these treasure boxes, Shax will give me one every week.
On va montrer des danses.
Postmaster will give me one every week. If I'm just not a patient person, and I'm not, I can go in here and I can help myself to these as often as I would like.
Yes.
To
And,
be
as you can
alive.
see, the items that we're acquiring here from Eververse are strictly vanity. So we will still have to get our own infusion fodder to make these items tactically viable, if you will. Looking good. And then we had mentioned before the Taken emote works with any type of armor set, but in order to acquire it,
You have to have the full Desolate set.
Okay, so I can't even get this. There is no price tag
Okay.
on it, but I can't even get this until I have all of the pieces of the Taken armor, the Desolate line.
Ah
for
voilà,
that
de la danse.
class.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Il y a
then if
un peu
I'm-
bizarre la danse, on
I'm
dirait
reminded that the
qu'il
Sparrow
bug
Racing
le
gear
personnage.
had its own perk set, so when I had all of the official Eververse trading, the official
dure longtemps.
gear, and I put it all together, then it had the
Moi je peux pas, moi, je peux pas faire pareil moi.
the blinking indicators. Okay, let's see what else Tess has. I'm going to preview these.
Ah,
give
c'est
you a
trop
little
compliqué.
list as
Faites
to-
ça chez vous. Vous verrez, c'est
So,
super
we can go
compliqué.
clubbing. So it looks like we had a little bit of fun on our mocap stage again. Talk to us a little bit about how these emotes are created, because I've heard that it can be a blend of motion capture as well as painstaking handcrafted animation.
Yes, I mean, a lot of times.
Bouger la tête comme ça tout le temps.
Animators will go back in and
J'aurais plus de tête à la fin. hein.
Give it the extra emphasis and style it needs. And the emotes are an awesome.
C'est pas mal, ça.
system to Let the animators express themselves.
As well as the players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so much of what we do in Destiny, especially if we're in the tower or if we're in social spaces, is nonverbal communication.
So true.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
This is another fun.
Après, des rares.
Find a ring somewhere.
Yeah. See, what you need to do is you need to find like a cliff or a spire. Bye-bye. And almost done, but I have to assume.
On dirait Spider-Man quand il fait ça.
the different ways
C'est marrant.
and praise each other. Or even just be like, man, I don't know. How do we do this? How do we beat this raid boss? I don't know. I think that's really the counter for any sumo move right there. It's just a swift kick to the face.
Unstoppable move.
And then finally, I do not recommend this. I do not recommend that we be rude to our fellow gamers, but it's the internet, man.
It's all in good fun.
It's all in good. It's all in good fun. And then if we want last year's fashions, if I want sparrows, if I want horns, if I want the SRL stuff that we enjoyed last December, you bundle all of this into different boxes and
J'ai mal à
you
la
can
tête.
pull that stuff out at will.
Yep.
Cool, guys. Cool. Looking good. Look at that, my
Bon,
Hudson
bah, je crois bien la
table.
montrer toutes les danses.
So let's
C'est
see.
super
We
marrant.
talked about the new gear that's going to be available from different sources. We've talked about the new faction reward packages. I'm ranking up with Dead Orbit. I'm the top of
Et voilà.
And one thing that is interesting is the most difficult activity in the April update is
Et voilà, le vaisseau est super.
right? Like the
Moi
most
j'aime bien.
difficult combatants that you'll face are 330, but I can now reach 335.
Yes. Some of the final round of Challenge of Elders will have 335 that you're going to be facing
Okay.
on par challenge.
Okay.
But the King's Fall hard mode, we're increasing the light of the gear that you're getting from there up to 335.
Là, je suis en-
King's Fall normal is going to be dropping gear up to 320.
Okay.
So
Now I understand there's a hotfix will need to apply before the 335 gear will start dropping from King's Fall.
yes.
So on the first day in the post-April update world, we're not going to go into King's Fall heroic mode and get 335 gear, but
you'll get up to 330.
we'll let you know when that starts dropping. So, so here we are in Mars, but before we
Alors, les
begin
passereaux.
enjoying ourselves, I'm going to turn my HUD back on. But tell me all of the activities in the April update that I can use. If you want to consult your notes, please
Yeah.
do, because we definitely want to get this
Want
right.
to get it right.
Here are all of the activities that you can play as part of the April update that will give you 335 gear, because you have a lot of infusion to enjoy
Yep. King's Fall hard will drop up to 335
after the hotfix.
after the hotfix. Iron Banner will drop up to 335. Trials of Osiris will drop up to 335.
Okay.
Strike Uniques will drop up to 335. Exotic Engrams will decode up to 335. Court of Oryx artifact drops, which you mentioned last week, will go up to 335. And of course, the trial, or the Challenge of the Elders.
Challenge of Elders.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit about this gun. So I just pulled this out of the vault. It is a reef armament that I would earn in
Qui veut manger des 1000K?
And this also has.
Il y a plus de tête.
That's right. for the
Ah
first
bah oui,
time.
bah supposons qu'il n'y a plus de tête.
Alright, so I'm going to customize
On est
this
trop
gun.
des chiottes.
Keith, help art direct me here if you could, please.
Ah, moi je voulais
I've got, a
essayer
white note
cette
on
arme.
this. That's cool. Kind of makes the gun pop just a little bit.
You go a little sinister, you go red, you could pop a little blue. You've also got yellow.
So I'm going to check out the yellow simply because that does kind of complement the color scheme of the reef.
And the nice thing is then the Guardians get a choice to customize their weapons with their armor, or have their weapons stand out, or have an individual piece of armor stand out.
Nice.
So it's and it's all integrated in, so it looks nice and sweet, but doesn't get in the way.
Nice. Okay, so you've got a pretty sweet fallen weapon here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is the Scout rifle.
Mm-hmm. And what would you do to trick this out?
To be perfectly honest, it kind of depends on my mood.
Okay. Well,
But,
you've got this red suit of armor here. You've got the white chroma.
So if I go magic,
Oh, nice.
or
Voilà. Là on
a
peut
little bit of,
choisir des couleurs.
I'm gonna go for
Voilà.
red. Give it a
Mais
little-
l'objet payé quoi. Des cristals.
Looking mean, man.
So lots of different ways to customize our weapons and pursuits now.
Nice. And let's say that you were wearing a full suit of Taken armor.
Même derrière aussi,
You
bah,
had the twitch, you had the emote. Show
Gauche et
us what
droite,
you would
hein.
wield if you were
Là, il va faire à droite.
scrolling through
Et là,
this
il va tourner à gauche. Voilà, à
public
gauche.
space.
Well, there's
Pas
a few
mal.
different ways I can go.
Face.
I'd go with
C'est mieux en rouge qu'en blanc.
Nice. Okay.
or
Wicked.
À l'autre,
Check it out.
avec son
Hold
épée
very
derrière,
still.
on entend bien.
I need to enjoy every little bit of this. Nasty. Look at the effects on that.
yes. So it is it's a void sword,
L'épée est excellente.
and it works with the normal sword mechanics and gameplay.
Mhm.
It's just another option for players.
Check you out. Okay, you got one too. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a collector of sparrows. I'm gonna pull this out. First of all, check out my new ghost.
That's right.
Where do I get that?
So that's going to be a Prison of Elders drop.
Which activity in Prison of Elders? Challenge of Elders or the new level 41 matchmade?
I believe it's a Challenge of the Elders.
Okay, so this available coming soon in Challenge of Elders. But what I'm going to do is summon my vehicle. Check out.
Et le nouveau Bassero, on peut faire
This
des...
is
Ouais,
badass. It's got the new
on
Sparrow
peut faire
racing
des
body.
techniques maintenant dans les
glowing in
passereaux.
beautiful white. And check you out. What do you got?
This is the new House of Judgment Sparrow.
So you got a sweet barracks ride,
That's right.
and then you're like me.
Yep.
Dude, you shouldn't have bought the same car as me, man.
Alors L2 et
Alright, follow
R2, donc ça peut
I
faire
want
des
to see you
zigzags.
put these new swords to good
Ouais,
use.
c'est ça, ouais. c'est-
So we're going to bound across the dunes here, and we're going to go to my favorite farming bowl.
Tu veux pas me dire que c'est faux?
Le quoi?
Tu t'es fait grave sur Destiny.
Ouais.
Okay, guys, where'd you
Les
go? Where'd you
engrammes,
go?
putain,
All
t'as de
right.
la chance, toi.
Did I save some for you? No, I didn't. All right.
Regardez.
Did you clean up that fast?
Yeah.
All right. You still got some left. I'm sure we'll get some more enemies here in a second. Good God. You didn't leave. I turned my back for 1 second and you killed 16 Cabal?
Well, yeah, they're just in there. All right.
It's showmanship, guys. You gotta wait until I'm looking or it didn't happen. All right, let's go topside again. Here, follow me. Get a little bit more Sparrow action. Let me see the barracks Sparrow one more time. All right, let's go hunting. We should have some bad guys up here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
En empêche, avant
Oh,
Destiny,
alright.
c'était super
I got you
bien.
all framed
En
up.
2014, c'était
Activate
super.
swords. Go nuts.
Et là, depuis qu'ils ont tout amélioré, c'est chaud. Là, c'est super chaud.
Good God.
Et la technique,
Okay, good, guys.
wouh! Putain, j'ai trop hâte.
All right, Guardians, friends in the audience, we thank you so much for joining us on stream today. You've got a lot to earn, a lot of new things that you're going to be able to put on your Guardian, and so we will see you in a post-April update world, so you can start equipping yourself with these marvelous new fashions and toys. I'm Deej from Bungie. It's always a pleasure to have you, to visit with us on our channel, and to meet the hardworking, talented people that actually make your video games. It's my pleasure to introduce you to them. Once again, this is our lead, Keith Bachman. Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anyone you play Destiny with?
Oh yeah, my fire team. I'll be looking for you guys in April. Salut, Simon et Nico.
And how about you, Brenton?
Ok, maintenant, on va parler la... Comment ça s'appelle? On va parler de la future Nintendo. La future Nintendo, oui. Nintendo NX. Bonne nouvelle. Pour une fois, ils vont faire un Destiny 2 là, pour Nintendo. J'ai entendu ça pour les rumeurs. Voilà, on va regarder ça ensemble. Déjà, on va faire une petite pause et on va se retrouver tout à l'heure.
blogueuses, bienvenue, je suis avec...
Oh non. Oh là là. Hello, good night. Yes, a Nintendo NX. A very, very good Nintendo NX.
David Louis-Marie, ça va bien?
Ça va bien, merci.
Et David est en train de devenir mondialement connu pour ta-na-na-na, le fake mondial de la manette de la Nintendo NX, ou peut-être même la future console portable de Nintendo. C'est toi qui l'as réalisé. On va essayer de comprendre un peu déjà d'où est venue l'idée, comment tu l'as réalisé, comment est-ce que tout cela a pris une ampleur médiatique assez hallucinante et comment tu l'as vécu, toi. Alors, pour résumer un petit peu les faits, la chronologie, tout commence en décembre 2015, lorsque commence à fuiter sur le net, regardez, des brevets de Nintendo qui montrent donc une console portable, ou en tout cas une manette avec un écran assez atypique, assez large, visiblement tactile. Bon, là, après, plus rien. Et puis, vendredi 18 mars dernier, surgit sur les entrailles d'Internet une image mystérieuse d'une manette, ou en tout cas d'une console Nintendo, celle-là, et mon Dieu, tout le monde la reprend. Alors certes avec les pincettes d'usage, Gameblog en tête, mais bon, qu'est-ce que c'est? Alors c'est toi. Comment ça s'est venu, cette idée?
Comment c'est venu? Bon, comme d'habitude, je m'amuse à faire des designs de consoles, principalement Nintendo, et je voyais qu'il n'y avait pas trop de, de design de fans de manettes Nintendo, de futures consoles NX. Je me suis dit, il y a peut-être un truc à jouer, je vais commencer un modèle, me baser sur certains brevets, certaines rumeurs. Et voilà, j'ai commencé ça tout comme ça. Et à l'aide d'un ami, on a eu l'idée de poster ça sur Reddit, faire un photomontage, poster ça sur Reddit et voir comment les gens réagissent.
Ça t'a mis combien de temps à faire ce modèle 3D à la base? Parce que là, on montre effectivement, tu as fait un modèle impression 3D, on y reviendra après. Mais d'abord, initialement, c'était une réalisation 3D.
J'ai pris tout mon temps en fait, mais ça a pris une dizaine d'heures pour avoir le bon truc, quoi. Basé sur les rumeurs, tout ça. Et ensuite, un photomontage prenait 10 minutes. 10 minutes. J'ai créé ensuite un compte sur Reddit. Et voilà.
Il y a des petits détails qui faisaient vrai, comme une espèce de bout de scotch, etc.
Oui,
tu l'as fait exprès pour...
C'est sûr, c'était pour détourner l'attention un peu, quoi. Par ce bout de scotch qui cachait...
Quoi derrière ce bout de scotch?
Il n'y a rien du tout. Il n'y a rien. Pour soi-disant cacher la marque de la console, je faisais un peu mon naïf sur Internet. Quand je me faisais passer pour un développeur, voilà, quoi.
Quel était un peu le plan initial? Parce qu'en fait, tout ne s'est pas passé comme prévu, puisque dès le mercredi 23 mars, quelques jours à peine, surgit toujours sur Internet de nouvelles images encore qui semblent corroborer le fait qu'à l'autre bout de la planète, il y a d'autres personnes qui ont cette manette.
Alors, de nouvelles images très nettes d'un modèle totalement identique jusqu'au bout de scotch. Moi, j'ai halluciné.
Ah voilà, c'est quoi ta réaction à toi? Parce que toi, tu sais que tout ça est faux.
Oui,
et puis, est-ce que ça te trouble pas un peu? Tu te dis, merde, ça se trouve, j'ai vu juste.
Pendant quelques secondes, je me suis dit, c'est impossible, quoi. J'ai pas pu taper juste. Enfin bref, je me suis dit, ok, une impression 3D. J'ai recherché un peu sur le net, ça venait de qui? Un soi-disant insider, comme moi, tout comme moi. Je l'ai ajouté en ami et j'avais peur de le contacter car j'avais peur de me faire griller, tout simplement, quoi. Donc ça a changé mes plans, car j'avais dit que j'allais revenir avec des photos ou une vidéo. Car il était prévu que je fasse mon impression 3D, que je fasse une vidéo.
Donc l'impression 3D, c'est celle qu'on voit là. Tu étais donc en train de réaliser pendant ce laps de temps?
Oui, en fait, il y en a une qui a raté, complètement raté, donc c'était foutu, quoi.
Et ensuite, j'ai vu ces photos apparaître sur Internet. J'ai dit, bon, bah, changement de plan, on va faire une vidéo où je révèle comment j'ai créé cette chose, quoi, avant que Franck me prenne de court.
Alors Franck, t'as fini par l'avoir, etc. Vous avez discuté
j'ai
ensemble?
juste félicité sur son compte YouTube, sur sa vidéo, lui de même, quoi.
Donc lui, en fait, il a fait un modèle 3D, parce qu'il est spécialiste dans les impressions 3D,
Design, oui.
mais en reprenant donc ton
Oui,
fake.
oui.
Donc finalement, tu es le père de tout cet emballement médiatique, où évidemment, moi, avant de te poser la question de comment est-ce que tu as vécu ça, et les réactions peut-être que tu as pu avoir ou pas de Nintendo, tu vas nous le dire dans un instant, c'est vrai que moi je trouve que ça fait partie un petit peu du monde du jeu vidéo, de l'industrie du jeu vidéo. C'est quand même une industrie de divertissement.
Bien sûr.
Évidemment, il est très important pour nous, membres de la presse, quand on présente ce genre d'image, d'y mettre toutes les pincettes d'usage, que ce soit une rumeur, c'est indiqué, l'usage du conditionnel, de questionner un peu les choses. Il y a même aussi des analyses même de la qualité de ta photo pour voir les points qui pourraient, sur les éclairages, être un petit peu étranges. Mais finalement, ça n'avait pas l'air d'être très juste, mais pas si faux que ça.
Oui, voilà.
Tu avais plutôt bien fait les choses.
Ouais. Il n'y avait pas beaucoup de monde qui arrivait à démontrer à 100% comment ça avait été fait. Certains pensaient que c'était une impression 3D photographiée, mais en fait, pas du tout. C'était une photo truquée.
Qu'est-ce que tu avais mis à l'intérieur dans l'écran? Des espèces de je sais pas, de roches, de textures?
Ah oui, je me suis dit, j'ai mal fait pour ce coup-là. Ouais, je me suis dit, tiens, on va faire une console portable, on va dire qu'elle a une architecture plutôt mobile, on va chercher un peu sur le net, il y a quoi? Une Unreal Engine 4, ok, une Unreal Engine 4 Tech Démo mobile, qui était assez ancienne d'ailleurs, j'ai mal joué de ce coup-là. On va prendre une capture, on va faire un montage, on va faire des faux boutons, on va mettre des FPS, comme si c'était une console des bugs. Voilà, et les gens ont remarqué directement le nombre de FPS, les soi-disant boutons virtuels. Voilà.
Ça faisait assez vrai, d'autant que le rédacteur en chef de Game Informer, qui est généralement quand même plutôt bien informé, soulignait sur Twitter que, d'après les informations qu'il avait, même s'il ne pouvait pas certifier parce qu'il ne l'avait jamais vu de visu, que tout ce qui était présenté là semblait vrai. Alors en fait, est-ce que tu n'es pas si loin de la vérité?
Peut-être pour l'écran Freeform. Je me dis, ça fait un bon bout de temps qu'on en entend parler, que Nintendo a conclu un marché avec Sharp, qui fournit, je crois, les écrans de la 3DS aussi. Ça serait possible.
Alors comment tu as vécu un peu tout cet emballement, ces réactions? Est-ce qu'il y en a certaines qui t'ont surprise plus que d'autres?
J'étais très surpris que l'info soit relayée, tout simplement, qu'on prenne au sérieux mon photomontage qui a été... J'aurais pu beaucoup faire mieux, quoi. N'importe qui aurait pu faire mieux. Et voilà, quoi, ça m'a beaucoup fait rire, les réactions, surtout sur NeoGAF. J'en joue justement dans la vidéo. Ouais, ça m'a vraiment fait rire. J'ai suivi toute l'actu, tous les matins, je regardais chaque news là-dessus, jusqu'aux fameuses photos.
Tu sais globalement combien de sites ont repris ton information?
Non, la principale... pas mal de sites, mais non, exactement combien. Non,
tous les principaux mondiaux l'ont fait.
C'est ça.
Des États-Unis, au Japon, à la France.
Kotaku, etc. Ouais.
C'est un gros succès. Et alors, est-ce que tu as eu un petit toc-toc, un petit message, un petit truc de Nintendo?
Non, rien du tout. Non.
Ni pour dire qu'est-ce que c'est que ça, ou bien joué, ou rien du tout.
Rien du tout.
Est-ce que tu as essayé de les contacter, toi?
Non, même pas.
Non, rien du tout. Bon. Ce qui est intéressant, je trouve, c'est que beaucoup de personnes sur le net, une fois qu'ils ont vu apparaître ces images, qui, on va dire, valideraient, ou en tout cas ont été pensées en accord avec le brevet initial officiel, lui, de Nintendo, donc une manette avec une forme quand même assez inédite, contestaient son ergonomie. Se disaient, non mais s'ils font ça, c'est n'importe quoi, ça tiendra pas dans la main, ce sera pas agréable et tout. Toi qui l'as modélisé, du coup, maintenant, véritablement, à peu près, d'ailleurs... au format de ce que ça pourrait être, ça t'as regardé un peu par rapport aux cotes du brevet, etc.
Non, pas super ergonomique quand même, mais ça va quoi.
Parce que, regarde, viens Poufy, je vais la prendre dans la main. Pour se rendre compte un petit peu par rapport à une main traditionnelle, est-ce que tu pourrais juste me tenir le micro? Je vais essayer de commenter en même temps. Me le mettre là. Voilà. Donc, regardez un petit peu. Moi, je trouve qu'en fait, c'est assez étonnant parce que, regardez, les doigts se calent assez bien dans ces arrondis-là. Donc, en fait, on est pas mal. Et la zone qui est dédiée à l'écran qui englobe les sticks, bah, elle serait finalement plus large, par exemple, qu'un smartphone, on va dire comme un 5S, etc. Donc c'est quand même une zone d'écran plutôt convenable. Et en fait, ce qui étonne, moi je trouve, c'est que même si tout n'est pas parfait, bah, c'est pas si désagréable que ça. On a essayé, ça se glisse plutôt bien dans la poche arrière. Et toi, ce que tu soulignais, c'est que sur le côté, il y a donc effectivement ces petits bumpers,
Les molettes.
voilà, avec des petites molettes qui sont très accessibles, plutôt bien placées. Et en tout cas, sur ton fake, hein, attention, hein, soyons très très clairs, hein, il ne s'agit en rien ni d'une annonce officielle, ni d'un schéma officiel ou quoi que ce soit, c'est un fake. Mais eh ben, à l'usage, étonnamment, c'est beaucoup plus agréable qu'on pourrait l'imaginer en le voyant juste sur les images qui ont popé sur Internet. Toi qui l'as eu bien à l'usage, qu'est-ce que tu penses qu'il faudrait améliorer en l'état?
Je la verrais plus large, enfin plus large hauteur, surtout les molettes qui sont trop proches des sticks.
On se crispe un peu à
oui,
l'usage.
voilà, exactement quoi. Après, comme j'ai montré sur, c'était pas terminé en fait. Comme j'ai montré sur mon compte Deviance, j'avais ajouté des manches, une sorte de moule où on devait mettre le pad à l'intérieur.
Clipser
Ouais, le
dedans.
clipser exactement. Voilà.
Bon, bah, écoute. On verra maintenant quelle sera la réponse de Nintendo un peu avant l'E3, selon les dernières rumeurs. Ce ne sont que des rumeurs encore une fois. Mais en tout cas, probablement à l'E3, on pourra l'avoir en main et bah, on sera définitivement fixé. Allez, pour conclure un peu cette petite séquence, avec toi, j'aimerais inviter à nous rejoindre Anatole Korchak, qui est ton compère, ton complice de votre boîte de jeux vidéo qui s'appelle No Name Games, que
Bonjour.
vous avez fondé. Ça va bien?
Ça va.
Donc comment ça s'est passé toi? Parce que quand David a commencé à partir là, dans cette histoire de ce fake Nintendo, tu n'étais même pas là.
Donc moi en fait
Même pas au courant.
j'étais en voyage, je reviens de voyage et là je vois dans la boîte mail qu'on a avec No Name Games plein de mails de Game Informer, plein de gens qui commencent à dire est-ce que je pourrais contacter David? Et là je vois un lien vers la vidéo YouTube et je fais mais c'est pas possible, c'est pas lui, c'est pas possible. J'ai essayé de le joindre toute la journée, je vois le nombre de vues qui explose, on est passé de 60 000 à 150 000 en une journée, on est passé de 60 à 150 000. Et j'étais là mais c'est pas possible, c'est pas David. Et si.
Et alors No Name Games, ça a été fondé.
Donc on a commencé à faire des jeux en 2012.
D'accord.
Donc on a fait un premier jeu qui s'appelle Apocalypse. Qu'on a sorti
ça
pour
tourne sur quelle plateforme?
l'Apocalypse, donc le 21-12-2012, sur Android et iOS.
D'accord.
Et là, on a sorti un deuxième jeu qui s'appelle Save Snowman à la fin de l'année dernière, qu'on a fait un FPS pour mobile, qu'on a fait assez rapidement. Et là, en fait, il y a un jeu qu'on prépare depuis 2 ans, que là, on va sortir incessamment sous peu.
Donc toi David, tu t'occupes de la partie graphique.
Oui.
Et toi plutôt la technique, du coup,
Voilà,
le code,
c'est ça,
etc.
exactement.
D'accord. Et alors quel serait votre fantasme de... C'est quoi la suite chez vous?
On va sortir sur NX.
Mais vous l'avez déjà la NX, vous avez les kits.
Oui, c'est vrai.
Évidemment.
On a les kits, ouais.
Non, vous êtes parmi les premiers services, j'espère bien quand même. Non mais blague à part,
Ouais.
qu'est-ce que vous auriez envie de...
Bah, comme jeu, j'aimerais bien faire un jeu VR, tiens. Ça m'intéresserait, il a un Oculus Rift. Voilà, quoi.
On pensait justement à faire peut-être une version d'Apocalypse en VR.
Ah oui.
On pensait à ça parce que les démos qui sont sorties comment ça s'appelle déjà? The Chair, ouais. The Chair sur Oculus.
Top.
On se retrouve dans l'univers avec les astéroïdes et dès que j'ai vu ça, j'ai fait c'est pas possible. On pourrait reprendre tout le travail qu'on a fait sur Apocalypse pour faire une version VR du coup sur mobile. Et sinon, on a une idée, enfin on a d'autres idées, mais on a un peu, on laisse découvrir après. On va peut-être faire un jeu de voiture, c'est pas encore sûr. Mais surtout là, on se fixe sur un jeu qu'on va drop. Donc c'est.
Et du coup, vous jouez à quoi quand vous avez un petit peu de temps en ce moment?
J'ai fini The Witness.
Ouais.
Qui est pas mal quoi.
T'as fini toutes les énigmes et tout?
Non, pas tout.
Ouais, pas tout. Il y en a qui sont corsés quand même. Hein. Et toi?
Moi, j'ai des périodes CSGO qui reviennent comme ça. Inévitable. Sinon, j'ai joué à Trackmania. À un moment, j'étais premier mondial du ladder sur Trackmania Nation. J'étais un gros fanatique de Trackmania. Voilà.
Bah, en tout cas, Anatole et David, bah, déjà merci d'être passés nous voir à
Merci
Gameblog.
à vous.
On avait vraiment envie de vous inviter et de, bah, moi je trouve, de vous dire chapeau. Chapeau parce que ça a super bien pris. Vous avez été dans le bon timing.
Ouais.
C'était suffisamment crédible pour faire en tout cas douter les gens. Ça a été bien repris. Et puis je trouve que c'est de bonne guerre. Il faut savoir en sourire et en rire. Ce n'est pas bien grave. Ça l'aurait été plus si tout le monde avait affirmé que c'était ça la nouvelle console de Nintendo. Là par contre, là oui, là ça aurait un peu craint. Mais ce n'est pas le cas. Et le jeu vidéo reste aussi un divertissement. Vivement quand même qu'on en sache plus officiellement. Qu'on ait non plus des bruits de couloir ou des rumeurs, mais bel et bien des réalités. Probablement dans les semaines et mois à venir. Allez, bah moi je vous souhaite le meilleur en tout cas pour votre studio, puis pour
Donc voilà. Voilà. Bon, voilà, n'hésitez pas à y aller sur la page. On fait des grands pouces, là, je suis arrivé à 76. Si j'arrive en bout de 80, en bout de 100, 200, allez-y, hein, allez-y, n'ayez pas peur. Voilà. Et mon truc de gaming aussi. Voilà, si par exemple vous avez un Facebook, allez-y tous, allez-y. Donc je vous dis à plus tard. Galaxy Romain, tu veux dire un mot? Tu veux dire un mot, Galaxy Romain?
Oh non, dis.
Non. Et n'hésitez pas à y aller sur Galaxy Romain. Est-ce que Galaxy Romain, tu peux parler en anglais? J'ai obligé. Je sais même pas si... je crois bien j'ai des gens anglais là, qui regardent ça. Tu vas pas dire un mot? T'es sûr? Oh, bon, pas de mots. Alors, bah voilà. Galaxy Romain, bah retrouvez-le.
Bye bye.
Voilà, bye bye. Il dit bye bye. Donc bah voilà, donc je vous laisse pour cette vidéo qui dure 2 heures de vidéo. C'est ma première fois que je fais ça. 2 heures, mais c'est énorme. Wow. On fait un petit Agario en live. Non. Ça me manque Agario. Chaîne, soit j'arrête la vidéo, soit je continue, soit j'arrête. Et bonne nuit pour tout le monde. Ouais. J'hésite. Ça fait un petit moment que j'ai pas joué à Gario. Hein. Ouais. Voilà. Et aussi, attends, j'avais oublié. Voici Acopelix, qui est pas mal aussi, que j'ai fait. Et il va sortir le 12 avril, bah, en même temps que la mise à jour de Destiny. Voilà. Attendez. Je recherche ma mise. Voici Mastered, c'est du rap. Si vous voulez du rap, si par exemple vous aimez du rap, vous faites j'aime dans ma page Ronan DJ 22 Music Mix. Voilà, voilà, vous avez plein de choses à voir. Voilà. Voilà. N'ayez pas peur. Hein. Bah, si vous voulez, je peux vous faire écouter la musique Mastered aussi. Bah, oh, peut-être pas non plus. Hein. Oh, si. Voilà. Voilà, ici, il est ici. Voilà, ils sont tous là. Aquapalix, il sort le 12 avril. C'est du Future Wars. Voilà. Donc bah voilà. Bon allez, je vous dis bye. Et bonne soirée tout le monde.